Hi, Rhianna Patrick with a Triple J News update. Lawyers for Australian Guantanamo Bay detainee David Hicks will make another attempt to dismiss charges against their client in a series of motions hearings starting in Cuba today. His father, Terri Hicks, says his son's defence team will be fighting a decision to remove 3 members of the US Military Commission panel without replacing them.
In my honest opinion, it should be scrapped, put them through a proper legal system and deal with it that way. Not this farce that they call hearings and trials. You know, a 10-year-old kid could probably conduct a better hearing than what these people are doing.
David Hicks has pleaded not guilty to all charges. US President George W. Bush and Democratic challenger Senator John Kerry will start their last day of campaigning ahead of the presidential election. The latest polls show that neither candidate can be confident of victory, with President Bush only 1 point ahead of his rival. Both candidates will visit several key states on the final day, with election ads saturating the airwaves.
I will never relent in defending America, whatever it takes.
As president, I'll bring a fresh start to protect our troops and our nation.
I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
I'm John Kerry, and I approve this message.
3 Israelis have been killed and more than 30 others injured after a Palestinian suicide bomber hit an open-air market in Tel Aviv. Meanwhile, in a refugee camp in the northern West Bank town of Nablus, a 12-year-old Palestinian boy has been shot dead by Israeli troops. Gunmen have reportedly kidnapped an American citizen, 2 Arabs and an Asian man from their office in Baghdad. Iraqi police say the gunmen stormed the villa with automatic rifles and grenades. Only days after winning a record 13 AFI awards, the coming-of-age film Somersault has taken out Best Original Song at this year's Screen Music Awards. The song was composed by Australian band Decoder Ring. Japanese Story won Best Feature Film, while the epic Master and Commander won Best Soundtrack Album. Lisa Gerrard won the International Achievement Award for her body of work, which includes films like Gladiator, Black Hawk Down and The Passion of the Christ. The trainers of today's Melbourne Cup starters will be keeping a close eye on the weather this morning. As Matt Brown explains, a wet track is expected to favour the international runners in a $4.6 million race.
Irish galloper Vinnie Rowe, Godolphin's Mamoul and English galloper Distinction are all hoping for a slow track. She's Archie was favourite for the race 2 weeks ago, but has drifted to a $15 chance after struggling with injury. The TAB is expecting to hold a record amount on the race.
And the Australian soccer team will play host nation Germany in the first round of next year's...
November is Triple J's Australian Music Month.
Then I'll play the same.
This could be the quietest we've ever heard the Spazzies as they choose their favourite Aussie tracks to play. But it'll all get out of control Saturday afternoon at 5.
Oh my God, the Spazzies have the airwaves for an hour.
So tune in for the mayhem on Triple J.
My gut that I get of late. When I think about this cats running the world with hate, I say something got to give. Got the whole world fighting for the Texas tea. Got a little for you, I got a little for me, but the kettle's leaking like a sieve. Now there's a puddle on the floor, there's a puddle in the sky. The kettle's leaking so much, the man is burning in my eyes, yeah. Can't we just throw that damn pot out? And on the subject of throwing stuff away, I know some deaf men who can't hear a word we say, no matter how loud we do shout. Yeah, and I say, something gotta give right now. Something gotta give right now for you. Something gotta give right now, man. But something gotta give right now. I was reading the newspaper just yesterday. Got the headlines reading, God bless the USA. And I thought, God bless everyone. God bless the people in New York when they were attacked. God bless the children being bombed there in Iraq. God bless the goddamn junkie with the monkey on his back. God bless everybody under the sun. Because the ruler here to land if we don't got love. We can try to pay attention to the guy above. But eventually the only guarantee will be that the tea in your tank will dry. Because without love, you know there ain't no life. You can duplicate and bottle it up for your life.
That's Perth-based hate-monger John Butler spreading his disciples' message of loathing and contempt.
He's a hate-monger. We read an article in a newspaper, a right-wing sort of tabloid newspaper in Victoria, didn't we? I think we might have been travelling to Tasmania for Adam Will the last time shows, and we had the Herald Sun, which is your Victorian tabloid, which is fair to say pretty much has the motto of, small words, big type.
Exactly.
It's going to the masses, but there's this guy called Andrew Bolt.
You read articles in that paper that even Stalin and Goethe, it's a bit right-wing, isn't it?
Well, Andrew Bolt gets letters from people like Hitler going, come on, steady.
Come on.
Steady, dude. Come on. Let's not be silly. I was on my way to invade Poland reading your newspaper article about John Butler. I thought, hang on, mate.
And the essence of Bolt's position was that that John Butler, for someone who talks about love, it's just all hate.
He's a hate-monger.
Hate-monger.
He hates John Howard.
Talks the message of hate.
Andrew Bolt's great. I actually feel quite sorry for Andrew Bolt because he's one of these people who has obviously decided that, there's a big career in being, you're right-wing.
Edgy.
I'm going to complain about everything sort of
Calls
commentator.
it like he sees it.
Yeah, and he seems to be actually quite intelligent. He's obviously taken this as a career choice.
Yeah.
And then has been locked into this cycle of just having to hate everything.
Yep.
But eventually got to a point where he's obviously gone, it's getting a bit boring. Okay, I'm going to hate people for hating things.
Yep.
And every week, it's just this this litany of, this week I hate John Butler because he's a hate monger.
Yeah.
Now, this week I hate, the other week he was hating like Dimmicks or something because they had a lot of books like the Bush Haters Handbook. And so he was just saying that Dimmicks were hate mongers.
And it's great because you then see that sort of commentator get caught into this thing of saying, John Butler just has to run people down.
Yeah.
John Butler just has to say negative things about him. All John Butler does is say negative things.
That long-haired, long-haired hippie
off the way he does it. Imagine if you were someone who just had to use hate.
How he just that filthy little why doesn't he wash? He's a hate monger, John Butler. And that filthy hippie doesn't wash. Aria stealing American wasn't even born here. Hater,
isn't it? There's no need for people to be hateful in public life. The little prick.
I hate how he's hateful.
It's 6:08 on Triple J.
There's no need for him to be hateful in his American accent, even though he's lived here for 15 years. Why does he hate us so much?
Adam and Will with you. We've only got 19 shows ever to go in this massive, massive show today. Tripod, of course, doing a song on an hour challenge. Lane Beachley coming in for a bit of a chat. I'll be predicting the winner of today's Melbourne Cup, or be spectacularly shot down in flames in the end of a glorious 3-year run.
Got to give it a go, dude.
I'm going to have it.
Got to give it a crack.
Don't think I'm. But the great thing with my predicting the Melbourne Cup, and I'll be talking more about this later, I've never looked at anything to do with the race except for on the day. So if I sound a little bit distracted today, I'm just pouring through the form, trying to get our listeners something to put their money on.
I also want your idol tip.
Oh, of course. Well, look, I'm
It's down to the final three.
At the moment, I'm picking Courtney to do a double.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's going to win the Melbourne Cup and Idol.
I don't know which.
He's carrying a bit of weight in the cup.
Exactly.
He's going to go in the wet.
6 on the Jays. Here's the Thrills on Triple J. One horse down. We're playing a few of our Adam and Will tribute songs too. A bit self-indulgent, but very, very funny.
With your travel tales, but my in-laws, oh baby, my in-laws, well they're trying to tie your man down. Oh, I never should have settled down. Started sleeping around. Well, I never should have settled down, hanging around in a one-horse town. Whenever started sleeping around. But this feeling, oh, that I'm feeling, while you're praying on a tenor heart. So this evening, oh baby, I'm leaving. to settle down. Hanging around in a one-horse town when everyone started sleeping around. Guess I never should have settled down. You see, hanging around in a one-horse town does nothing for your state of mind.
Set your alarm for 11 tonight for a musical overload.
As we celebrate Australian music this month here at Triple J, join me, Andrew Hogue, in our very own backyard for an all-Australian full metal racket. We'll be chatting with Brisbane's God Knows about their latest album, and we get down and brutal with Sydney's extreme metalers, the Oemcke. Plus a swag of new Australian heavy tunes as well. It all kicks off tonight at 11.
Stay up late with Triple J.
I love the distinctive sound of Aussie metal.
Yeah. It's got that real... It's like Aussie hip-hop. You know, some people complain about Aussie hip-hop, like, you know, with the Aussie twang, and, you know, it just sounds a bit too Aussie. It's all about scallops and barbecues and, oh, mate, went down the shops the other day. Doesn't metal have that distinctively Australian feeling as well?
In the same way, I think most people agree the BBC probably makes the world's best scientific documentaries. They've pretty much got the corner on that sort of thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'd say the same with Aussie metal.
Aussie metal.
Aussie metal.
It's just that distinctive Australian... I couldn't tell if that was Keith Urban, John Williamson, or, you know, some American metal band.
Hey, Drew Blue, don't say you're gone.
Episode 100...
Rip, one chip.
Episode 114 of The Weather. Townsville fine and 31, Brisbane fine and 29, Newcastle thunderstorms and 29, Sydney an early shower or two. Later on in the day, storms 27, Canberra showers and storms 23. Hobart a few showers developing in 19. Adelaide cloudy with a few showers in 18. Perth fine in 23. Darwin fine in 34. Alice Springs showers in 38. Melbourne a few morning showers, perhaps an afternoon storm, possibly perfect conditions for Hugs Dancer in the Melbourne Cup, 19 degrees.
Is that your tip?
Possibly. 14 past 6 on the
You're not
Jace.
just going to say a lot of names of horses today and then cut out the one tomorrow that wins.
Oh, if you don't
You're not going to just
mind.
say... You're not just going to say about 24 horses today at some stage.
If you don't mind.
And then get Zoe to cut out the one that wins, are you?
If you don't mind.
You've got to make a definitive tip.
I am...
You can't hedge your bets. In the past, you haven't hedged your bets, dude.
I'm walking the audience through my thought processes all day on the show.
What time...
I haven't settled on a horse
What time
yet.
are you giving your definitive tip?
I will at the appropriate time.
What time can people tune in to go, this is the one?
Well, for example, Dermot Weld is announcing...
Are people rushing out now to get their money on Hugs Dancer?
That's up to them.
But is that your tip, dude?
It's a horse that could win the race. Dermot Weld is making
It's in the race. Of course it could win the race.
Oh, there's several horses in the race that
Jackie
can't
O
win.
says Mackay Diva can win the race. But, you know, I'm not rushing out to put my money down on what Jackie O tells me to do.
Zazman, for example, cannot win.
Cannot win?
Go. Zazman cannot win.
All right, cool.
And I'm happy to go through it that way and eliminate horses. I'm happy to go through it Australian Idol style if you want.
No, I just want to know which one's going to win.
The Spencer's spoken.
I don't want you to hedge your bets.
Well, for example, at 7:30 this morning, Dermot Weld is making an announcement on whether Vinnie Rowe's even going to run.
Yep.
So I can't call anything before then, can I?
No.
So it's one of the absolute favourites. I've got to wait and see what happens then. But Hugs Dancer, if it rains, is much more of a chance than if it doesn't rain. That's the first piece of information I'm floating out to the audience. That's the first piece of information I'm taking in myself.
Right.
I'm now letting that mull around.
That's not a tip, though, people.
No. It's certainly not a big tip.
That's not a tip.
Certainly not a bit of tip, but it's a crucial...
You've got to, at some stage today...
Oh, I will. Don't you
say
worry.
on the record, this is my tip.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
You can't just float horses'
Don't
names
you
around
worry
all
about
morning.
that. I will do that.
You can't
and
just
then
be going,
tomorrow...
oh, blah, blah, blah. I was going down the shops and Mackay Diva was there getting a high distinction.
In the spirit...
And I don't know. I saw my mate Vinnie Rowe.
In the spirit of
I
last
said, you're
year...
a winning bell.
In the spirit of last year's Melbourne Cup and in the spirit of my soccer girls, I will make a definitive prediction, don't you worry. And if that horse wins, it will be the only thing I talk about tomorrow. And if it doesn't win, you will never hear mention of it again.
Okay.
That's the rules.
Yeah, but that's all right. I just want to know, you've got to make a definitive tip.
Oh, there'll be a tip.
You're not allowed to...
There'll be a tip, don't you worry.
You're not allowed to flip-flop.
17 past 6.
You're not allowed to be wishy-washy.
Flip-flop's no chance at all. I think flip-flop's been scratched.
Oh, flip-flop's good in the
About
rain.
17 past 6 on the chase.
Me show.
Here's Mouse on Mars. You're with Adam and Will. We'll play an Adam and Will highlights track soon.
Through our voice, out of nowhere. When the birds go round, return. I'll be back to
It is about 21 past 6 on the Jays. Adam and Will with you. That is Mouse on Mars and Send Me Shivers. Something that sends me shivers is when Tripod does their Song in an Hour challenge every Tuesday. They're on a roll of incredible stuff. And we've pointed out the last few weeks, we only got like 4, 5 Tripod songs ever to go. What, from 5 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to go. Today's one and another 3 after that. So people are getting very excited about the subject matter. And we had the lovely Emily from Western Australia hit us on the guest book. How are you going, Emily?
Good, thank you.
That is great to hear.
How old are you, Emily?
13.
Right.
I like the way you thought about that for a second because you don't want to make a mistake. When are you 13 or 13 and a half, almost 14?
14 in January.
Whoa, what date in January, if you don't mind me asking?
10th.
Oh,
nice. Good birthday.
You could have won the Adam and Will share a birthday with us birthday wheel if you'd been born on January 29th or 31st. You would have won $1 million. Sorry about that. It's one of those competitions I don't announce the details till after I'm sure you haven't won. If anyone else is born on January 29th, give us a call. But you're not eligible for the $1 million. Anyway, now why have you hit us on the guest book, Emily?
Well, in my social class, we have to come up with a song about reusing water pollution.
Oh,
so you have to do a song about recycling water for high school?
Yeah.
Very important thing, the whole recycling water. They're looking at around the country. How can we use less water from our fresh reserves day to day? And so you're thinking
that Tripod could help me.
Oh, you want Tripod to do your assignment for you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay. We could definitely get a Tripod to write a song about recycling water. Is there anything else that has to be in the song?
Just stuff like saving water when you're brushing your teeth and when you're in the shower and stuff.
Okay, so domestic.
Okay.
Excellent. Now, what's your teacher's name?
Miss Ward.
Miss Ward?
Ward, okay. And what's the actual name of the class that you study with her?
Society and Environment.
Society and Environment. So Miss Ward, Society and Environment, recycling water.
Are you a good student, or are you like a middle of the class? Are you one of the nerds? Are you one of the slackers? Where would you fit in?
About the rebel side.
You're a rebel.
Rebel. What do you do that's so rebellious, Emily?
Won't say in case she's listening.
Right.
Oh, that rebellious.
So
okay.
A rebel with a hidden past.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, no trouble. We'll get Tripod to do a song about water recycling. It'll contain a reference to Ms. Ward, to society and environment, and things like domestic stuff, brush and teeth showering. And there'll be a rebel who's got a secret past, and that'll be you, Emily. Okay?
Cool.
No trouble at all. Have a good day.
All right. See ya.
You make sure you listen in. Tripod will do that just before 8 o'clock. Okay?
Okay.
God, she sounds like a rebel, Emily.
Doesn't she?
She sounded like she was hiding something.
Yeah, she wouldn't say in case Mrs. Ward was listening.
About 24 past. And Mrs. Ward, she's got her goons. They
totally.
Listen. They listen everywhere.
Yeah, she'd take him out.
24 past 6 on the Jays. Here's Wolf and Cub. A little track called 1,000 Starts. You're with Adam and Will. Good morning. Wolf and Cub on Triple J, 1,000 cuts. Adam and Will with you. We're receiving millions now of these CDs in our... Go to the grab bag, triplej.net.au, rate it, mix some stuff up, send us something you've made. Competition.
It needs to catch your name.
It does. I think
when we didn't think we'd be doing it this much when we came up with the name.
But it indicates, in the same way the name goes on a bit long and you lose interest, that's why you've got to keep these things short. The winning entry could well be shorter than the name of the competition.
But they are going really great, and there's some really great ones coming in. We are going to play the best one as our last song ever on air.
Here's one from DJ. I've got DJ... It's Mixmaster Barbs, it says on the CD, and it's entitled Explanation. Features heavily my mum. Asking for an explanation about why pizza boys are in porno movies and all that sort of stuff. 27 past 6 on the Jays. Here's DJ Mixmaster Barbs. Dinky we.
I'd like an explanation.
How do you know about that, Mum?
I'd like an explanation. I'd like an explanation. I'd like an explanation. I'd like an explanation.
Mark Holden!
Yeah, I need some of that too.
The stink.
No, a porn film that she fell on one.
The stink.
No, a porn film that she fell on one.
How do you know about that, Mum?
Yeah, Velvet Underground did it 30 years ago, Elton. Into sad music industry halls. Yeah, Velvet Underground did it 30 years ago, Elton. Into sad music industry.
I'd like an explanation.
Yeah, I need some of that too.
Mark Holden!
He implies you have bad PO.
DJ Mixmaster Barbs and Explanation.
Yeah, that one all right.
My mum featuring heavily on that one. triplej.abc. No, breakfastshow.abc. Oh, fuck. I'll tell you. What can you type it up? Sorry, I'm sorry. It's breakfastshow at triplej.abc.net.au, even though the website's just triplej.net.au.
Put it in the post.
Oh, please just send it.
Just put it in the post.
Are we getting most of them in the post?
Yeah,
Good.
put it in the post.
Don't send us an MP3.
Nah. P.O. Box 9994 Sydney 2001.
Because if you send it in...
Send it in the post.
If you send an MP3...
DJZJ.
I've got to try and open the computer and then rub a CD on it. It's complicated technology.
Send it via the post.
GPO Box 9994. What we'll do later after the news is we'll give out DJZJ's home address.
Yeah, you can send it there.
Just pop around.
Yeah.
Don't even put it... If you don't trust the mail, just go to Zoe's house.
Yeah, exactly.
Just wait out the front till she gets home one day from work and go, hi.
Because there's no way after being mugged on the weekend she'll feel suspicious at all about somebody hanging out suspiciously outside her house.
29 past 6 on the J.
Triple J's Australian Music Month.
Take us back to the beginning. Give us a venue or a gig you've played that we would not picture. How to think of right back at the beginning before you were...
an envelope.
Yeah, what have you got?
First gig we did here was the Glebe Point Tavern. Yeah.
Nice.
How many people would have come to that gig?
Well, both of them.
Right.
Get to know some Australian music just that little bit more on Triple J.
Hi, Rhianna Patrick with Triple J News headlines. Federal government's being urged to lobby the US Pentagon to appoint more panel members to the Military Commission hearing the charges against Australian David Hicks. In an election that appears to be locked in a dead heat, the US presidential candidates will finish up their campaigning in several key states today. A suicide bomber has hit an open-air market in Tel Aviv, killing 3 people. An armed group has kidnapped 4 men from their offices in Baghdad. Decoder Ring has won the Best Original Song at this year's Screen Music Awards for the track Somersault, which featured in the movie of the same name. And Maccabi Diva is the favourite to take out this year's Melbourne Cup.
But I wouldn't write off Somersault.
No.
It's won everything in the last few days. It says Somersault could definitely win this, I would have thought.
Its form has been impeccable.
Yeah, some like midget jockey dude just riding Abby Cornish
exactly
down the final straight.
So anyone who's anyone who had money on Haley to win the Melbourne Cup, gone. What were you thinking?
She was a bit horsey, actually, that Hayley.
The bizarre thing...
It was close last night, really close.
I'll take your word. You should read if you...
Have you seen the stats? Does the newsroom get the final breakdown of what the numbers were in the Idol election?
No, but Casey was in the bottom, and I was like, don't know.
Wouldn't that be great if they did put them out? Because, they do post-election. They have all the counting. And then, Anthony Green and Malcolm McCarris put together their big charts.
Look, I said
how
from the
big
start,
the swing has been across seats.
Anthony needed 5%. He was never going to get it in the marginals.
It'd be great if there was one of those graphs in the paper every, sort of Tuesday morning, which had the Idol swing, where Courtney was loose.
This is like Hayley's lost seats in Tasmania.
Yeah,
that was the
she's lost people by singing Climb Every Mountain.
Well, I'm telling you.
She's lost people in flat areas right around Australia.
All I'm saying is if Casey wins, is there any guarantee that interest rates won't go up? No, there's not. She can't make that promise. That's all I'm saying.
She needs to be asked that.
Wouldn't it be great if in the last week they gave them a budget to run a fear campaign against the other Idol winners? They should be able to.
These are the sort of singles that Anthony Clear will release. It is 28 to 7 on the
Across to
Jays.
Casey now for a comment.
Here's Coconut Monkey Rocket and Theme.
Monkey rocket. Hey! Monkey rocket. Monkey rocket. Hey! Monkey rocket. Wow. Monkey rocket. Hey! Monkey rocket. Monkey rocket. Hey! Monkey rocket.
That's Coconut Monkey Rocket and a track called Theme on Triple J. It is 24 minutes to 7. Very important moment on the show here, Will. Before we launch into the ha-ha.
This is history making.
We do a lot of the ha-ha.
This is a landmark moment.
We do a lot of the ha-ha on Triple J, but at the same time we have to take very great concern and respect to the position we play in the community.
The truth is, Adam, there's a lot of kids out there who see you and I as role models.
Absolutely. As they should. As they should.
They are listening on our every word and say, how can I shape my life to be more like Adam and Will?
In a world gone crazy where a lot of kids don't have role models, in particular male role models, father figures.
Exactly. It's what Mark Latham was saying.
Society falling apart. Ross Cameron's doing what he can to be a father figure to as many families as possible.
There's a lot of single mothers out there who are raising kids, and the only male role models they have in their lives, the only people they can look to, for example, to those kids, Adam and Will.
Absolutely. And so we take very seriously the responsibility that pretty much everything we say on this show becomes gospel.
Truth.
If we get
people listen to us and they just do it.
Absolutely.
They make shit happen.
When we get guests like the Pope who coming on this show, and the Pope says on this show that single mothers are sluts.
Exactly.
That's gospel as far as these kids are concerned.
Everything we say on this show happens, Kill Dicko.
Absolutely.
Sorry, nothing. What was that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you, Kill Dicko.
And in the 6 years that I've been doing this show,
Kill Dicko.
Twice in the past I've chosen to make apologies on
Kill
air.
Dicko.
Once was when a guest of mine made a highly political comment in the lead up to a federal election. Radical hate monger Tim Friedman said that he personally wouldn't be voting for John Howard. And I think I went on air the next day and apologised and said that was quite biased. If any singer-songwriters want to come on air and say they will be voting for John Howard, I'll hold a spot for you on the show.
Still waiting.
Yeah, I didn't get reined in with calls.
Kill Dicko.
I did also. I chose to apologise once for when Rob Schneider made a joke that
the star of Juice Bigelow, Mal Gigolo.
Yes, and you're not going to believe, and the hot chick. Yeah, you're not going to believe this. He made a joke that some people thought was in bad taste.
Yeah, he waded into the
Israeli-Palestinian
debate in a way that perhaps,
in hindsight,
even Ariel Sharon and Yasser Arafat went, yeah, dude. Even we've got trouble with each other. We both banded together. Go, that was wrong.
But there's been a complaint about something said on the show, and this is our.
In the time we've worked together, this is really the first time we've had to make a public retraction.
The first time Will and I have had to clarify something that was said on the show. It was a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about a reduction in the number of amphibious species in Australia, endangered amphibious species. And I think we jokingly said, well,
I said, name the top 5. What are the top 5 amphibious species?
You got frogs.
Yeah. What else? Is the platypus one? No.
And we had a discussion about it, and we hit on axolotls. And salamanders. Then someone rang up and said, well, look, an axolotl just grows up to be a salamander, in particular if you feed it iodine, blah, 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 blah. And alarm bells went off in the head of one Paul Smith, who's a bit of an axolotl freak, and he's formally complained to the ABC because it turns out feeding iodine to axolotls, not good for them.
No.
Can kill them. And Paul is understandably freaking out.
Yeah, there's going to be axolotl deaths.
And the thought that the moment it was said on the radio, hundreds of thousands of Aussie kids just ran to their local iodine supplier and said,
give me some iron, Doc.
Buckets of the stuff.
Give me a bucket of iron.
Quick. And then they sent their mates down to the axolotl shop and said, let's go home and make some salamanders.
Gets a lot of axolotls, get some iodine, let's make some shit happen.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, kids.
Iodine will not turn your axolotl into a salamander, according to Paul Smith.
This is a public retraction.
It will kill them.
We categorically deny endorsing the use of iodine on axolotls.
We are trying to get Paul Smith on the show at some stage so that he can word us up on exactly the best way to turn an axolotl into a salamander. I'm not sure how you do it.
I think it's hitting it with a shoe.
Oh, no, I don't think
I'm pretty sure that's right.
No, I don't think it is.
You get an axolotl, you hit it with a shoe.
No, kids. Now, that was satire.
You drop a brick on it.
That was satire.
I think you drop a brick on it.
That was satire, kids. Don't go dropping bricks on salamanders or axolotls.
I was looking up a website.
Oh, really?
If you inject an axolotl with heroin.
Really?
Yeah, just get some heroin.
Okay.
And that becomes a salamander.
What if you can't afford the heroin and you cut it with iodine?
That's fine.
Really?
No.
You see, that's how easy it is, Will.
No iodine.
Exactly. Look, kids, I think the message here is just let axolotls be axolotls.
Yep.
Don't try and make them into salamanders.
Why do they have to be salamanders?
Don't try and make them into something they're not. Exactly.
And the other message is kill Dicko.
Okay. It's about 19 to 7 on Triple J.
Seriously, if you've taken one thing from this show in 5 years, kill Dicko.
Adam and Will with you. Here's Weezer. Their classic El Scorcho from a few years ago now.
Kill
I'm jello, baby. You won't talk, won't look, won't think of me. I'm the epitome of public enemy. Why you wanna go and do me like that? Come down on the street and dance with me. I'm alive like you, so please, hello. I'm here, I'm waiting. Oh, I think I'd be good for you, and you'd be good for me. I asked you to go to the Green Day concert. You said you never heard of them. How cool is that? So I went to your room and read your diary. Watching grunge leg drop New Jack to a press table. And then my heart stopped listening to Cho-Cho San. Fall in love all over again. I'm alive like you, so please, hello. I'm here, I'm waiting. Oh, I'm crazy now. I think I'd be good for you, and you'd be good for me. Oh, stupid is it? I can't talk about it. I gotta sing about it and make a record of my heart. Won't you give me a minute? Just come up to me and say hello. How stupid is it? For all I know, you want me to. And maybe you just don't know what to do. And maybe you're scared to say I'm falling for you. I wish I could get my head out of the sand, 'cause I think we'd make a good team, and you would keep my fingernails clean. But that's just a stupid dream that I won't realize, 'cause I can't even look in your eyes without shaking, and I ain't faking. I'll bring home the turkey if you bring home the bacon. I'm alive like you, so please, hello. I'm here, I'm waiting. No, I think I'd be good for you, and you'd be good for me. I'm alive like you. I'm alive like you. I'm alive like waiting. No, I think I'd be good for you, and you'd be good for me.
It is 7:15 on the Jays. Adam and Will with you. That is Weezer and El Scorcho. Richard just gave us a call and said, didn't we surely apologise publicly for the Rex Hunt uncut statement a few years ago? I'm pretty sure we didn't actually apologise for that.
No.
Can't apologise for one of the highlights of the show.
No, exactly.
Can't apologise for something that's been your meal ticket.
That's right.
Terri Psiakis, how are you this morning?
Well, apart from being filled by an overwhelming urge to kill Dicko, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, good,
Sweet.
thanks.
Kill
Good,
Dicko.
thanks. Don't feed him iodine. It is 7:15 on the Jays. Now, what has been tickling your
Fancy.
Terri?
Today's a very big day in Melbourne because it's Melbourne Cup Day today.
Is it really?
Is it Melbourne?
Yes.
Really?
Today?
I know, you
Today?
You know.
Bloody hell, I better pick a horse.
It's not getting any press around the country. That's the problem.
Have you got your headphones over a lovely hat at the moment, Terri?
No. I'm not doing the cup thing today. I plan on being face down in a barbecue lunch by about 2 p.m.
Nice.
Do you do it just like the Melbourne Cup in that you fill up the boot of your car with booze anyway, stand at a car park somewhere, get pissed first?
I don't just do that on Cup Day.
Sure. Yeah, I think with Terri
What
that's
do you
called
mean?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
The first Tuesday in every month.
Yeah.
The boot's always full of... We won't go into it. But it is Cup Day. People are excited about placing bets. They're excited about watching the race. Most of all, I'm tipping they're excited about having the day off work here in Melbourne. So there's lots of excitement around the place. Now, while the Melbourne Cup is referred to as the race that stops a nation, as a Melburnian, I often wonder just how captivating it really is for people outside Victoria. Yep. So in the interest of making it just that little bit more intriguing for those people, this morning I thought I'd give you a list of facts that you might not know about the Melbourne Cup.
Oh, wow.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Melbourne Cup facts.
Yeah, just stuff that you might not have heard kind of around the track, little known stuff.
So you can drop this in a conversation and sound knowledgeable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good on you, Nurse Turf.
Episode 113 of The Weather. Towns were fine in 31, Brisbane fine in 29.
It's not so much a cup as it is a fancy-ass, up-itself kind of mug.
Okay. I never knew that.
That's actually true.
Newcastle, thunderstorms in 29. Sydney, an early shower or two. Later storms, 27 degrees.
The popular racing phrase, "and they're off," was used for the first time by a race caller during the Cup. But what you might not know is that it's now more popularly regarded as a reference to Paris Hilton's knickers.
Canberra.
And they're off.
Showers and storms, 23.
Oh, she's using the whip.
Hobart, a few
she's
showers
playing in the wet.
developing, 19 degrees.
To garner more publicity for the second ever Melbourne Cup, the jockeys were replaced by young kids and midgets and the horses replaced by feral pigs. This was understandably outlawed the following year.
Adelaide, Clad, I never knew
It's an
that.
outrage. It's never been as good as that day.
And the bizarre thing is, because the same horse won the second Melbourne Cup as won the first. Archer, who was...
The first he was dressed as a horse, but was actually a feral pig.
Really?
Yes.
Small, unimportant details.
Adelaide.
Speaking of riding feral pigs, we're back to Paris Hilton again.
Adelaide, cloudy with a few showers, 18. Perth, fine in 23. These are Melbourne Cup facts, people.
Everyone knows that jockeys' uniforms are referred to as silks, but what you might not know is that all started when a Cup jockey turned up for work drunk in his girlfriend's lingerie.
Darwin, fine in 34.
Right.
Alice Springs, showers in 38.
Fashions on the field are a major part of the Melbourne Cup, but with the addition of alcohol, a little bit of spew is often a major part of fashions on the field.
I'll tell you what, Miss Australia, Miss Universe, Jennifer Hawkins, does a lovely spew.
Melbourne.
Beautiful spew.
Melbourne, a few morning showers, perhaps an afternoon storm, possibly perfect conditions for She's Archie in the Melbourne Cup, and 19 degrees.
Regardless of the weather on Cup Day, you'll be guaranteed to find Millsy hanging round the mounting yard.
It's another Melbourne Cup fact.
And he will be there, people.
He gets a lot of rides on Cup Day, doesn't he?
They are facts.
Gives it a red hot go.
Thank you very much, Terri Psiakis.
You've got to have the blinkers on to do it with Millsy, though.
Here's 67 special and last drag on Triple J, 11 to 7.
The road, and my eyes are realized, hypnotized by you. Drink a glass of beer and a cigarette with you. Don't care, no second guess. I was coming up next for you, for you. Across the road, and my eyes are realized, hypnotized by you. Knock me flat down on my back, head spins out, all contact. Feel your breath against my neck. Come on, sugar, make me.
67 special on Triple J and Last Drag, 9 to 7. Adam and Will with you. Tripod song on our challenge after 7.
You just said she's Archie would go well today. Is that your tip?
I'm waiting to see on the rain. The weather in Melbourne is crucial today. She's Archie is in the mix.
I want you to say, though, when your tip is that this is my tip. They just say the names of lots of horses.
No, there'll be a definitive tip, but there's just a mental mix going down in the Spencer's head at the moment.
That's fine, but that's not your tip.
No,
Don't rush out now.
If you've got any,
because the tab opens early this morning.
Feel free. If you've got any information to send my way, Will, feel free to throw stuff into the mix.
All right, well, I'll throw something in if you want.
Okay, mix.
Well, firstly, Jackie O.
Yes.
The co-host of Kyle and Jackie O show.
Oh, yes.
Is on Makybe Diva.
Excellent.
I'm guessing she's probably not backing that horse Frenzal Rom.
No.
That's not going to get a run.
I'm guessing not.
In Jackie O's world.
No. And was she backing it last year when the Spence picked the winner? No.
Georgie Gardner from National 9 News.
Oh, what has Georgie got to say?
She's also a Makybe Diva.
Okay.
But she's given a good reason, and you might want to take this into account.
Okay.
Because not unlike a woman, she's ready for all conditions.
Not unlike a woman.
Yep.
She's ready for all conditions.
Yeah. And apparently, Georgie Gardner, that's a bit of insight into Georgie Gardner's world, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Apparently, Georgie Gardner likes to be ridden hard.
Really?
By a little man.
Really?
You know, she likes the leathers.
Yeah.
She quite likes the blinkers.
Responds to the whip.
Good in all conditions.
Really?
Yeah. Loves to come from behind.
Well.
Also loves to come first.
Sure, thank you.
Came first last year.
Okay,
Would like to come first again this year.
I might be putting my money on Georgie Gardner at this rate. 7 to 7 on the Jays. Here's Björk. Little track called Who Is It?
It fuels me and places a skeleton of trust right beneath us, bone by bone, stone by stone. If you ask yourself patiently and carefully, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? But never let you down. Who is it? But gave you back your crown. And the ornaments are, they're going around. Now we're handing it over. They're handing it over. Handing it over. Who is it? That never let you down. Who is it? That gave you back your crown. And the ornaments are, they're going around. Now they're handing it over. Handing it over. He demands our closeness. We all have earned a lightness. Carry my joy on the left. Carry my pain on the right. If you ask yourself now patiently and carefully, who is it? Who is it that never let you down? Who is it that gave you back your crown? And your ornaments are, they're going around. And I'm handing it over, handing it over, handing. Who is it that never let you down? Who is it that gave you back your crown? And the ornaments are, they're going around. Now I'm handing it over, handing it over.
4 to 7 on the Jays. Adam and Will with you. That's Björk teaming up with that kid who does that beatbox song at the moment, who was discovered on Australian Idol, whose name eludes me.
Oh, is that him?
It's him at the end there.
At the end. He's not the human beatbox.
Kids are cool.
Who travelled with...
not Rozelle.
With Ben Harper.
No.
No, wasn't that guy?
Nah.
Because the one who travelled with Ben Harper, I always thought had the best gig, because he used to do the beatbox on Steal My Kisses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he would travel with Ben Harper, like, for this entire gig and come out for one song, a human beatbox.
Really?
I used to think that was the best job in showbiz.
I used to think the very best job in showbiz. Remember the guy who used to dance with a Prodigy? That was pretty cool.
At least he had to dance for a whole show.
Oh.
Human beatbox was seriously knocking into the rider for about... Because Steal My Kisses always used to come pretty late too.
Yeah.
He'd knock into the rider for 3/4 of the show, come out, do a bit of slurry human beatbox.
Yeah.
And then he's back in before the encore to knock back into the rider.
I got the impression when I saw the work of the guy who used to do the dancing with the Prodigy, I don't think he was forced to dance.
No, you get the impression he might have been dancing backstage otherwise.
Get the impression that came pretty naturally, Leroy. Here's the Unicorns on Triple J. I was born a unicorn, 2 to 8. Tripod after 7 o'clock with their Song of an Hour challenge, and I edge closer to picking the winner of the Melbourne Cup.
I was born a unicorn. I missed the arc, but I could have sworn you'd wait for me. I was born a unicorn. I could have sworn you believed in me. Then how come all the other unicorns are dead?
When dreamy beasts are dying down on out, they're there. If we agree they're there, they're there, alive and shorn.
Stop believing in me. We're the unicorns. We're more than horses. We're the unicorns, and we're people too.
Hi, Rhianna Patrick with the latest from the Triple J newsroom. The Federal Education Minister signalled that he'll use the government's new majority in the Senate from July next year to push through controversial changes to the higher education sector which failed last year. The changes include an end to compulsory student unionism and the extended use of Australian workplace agreements. Brendan Nelson also wants to ban strike action and limit the involvement of unions in negotiating staff salaries, and thinks there's merit also in transferring legislation governing unis from individual states to the Commonwealth. The federal government's being urged to lobby the US Pentagon to appoint more panel members to the military commission hearing charges against accused Australian Taliban fighter David Hicks. Democrat Senator Natasha Stott Despoja says 3 of the panel officers were recently removed because of bias concerns and they're not being replaced.
These hearings are a joke, they're an abuse of process, and we've called on the Australian government not only to lobby the United States government in relation to bringing David Hicks home, but they should be enforcing different processes so that they're fairer, so that we actually see a proper legal trial or hearing taking place.
There's been an explosion at an open-air market in the Israeli city of Tel Aviv, killing at least 3 people as well as a suspected suicide bomber. A group calling itself the Popular Front of the Liberation of Palestine has claimed responsibility for the blast. Meanwhile, in the West Bank town of Nablus, Israeli soldiers have shot dead a 12-year-old Palestinian boy. 2 Arab nationals, an American citizen and an Asian man have been kidnapped in Baghdad. An Iraqi ministry spokesman says an armed group kidnapped the men from their offices. The Queensland Nationals leader, Lawrence Springborg, says taxes, not schoolies, should contribute to the cost of the annual end-of-school festival. Gold Coast councillor Susie Douglas thinks schoolies should pay about $30 each to help fund the event, but Mr Springborg disagrees.
I'm concerned about any levies, of course, but you've got to look at the real reason for this. And as I understand it, they're basically saying because the state government has cut some essential funding. I would say to the state government, reinstate your funding, then there wouldn't be a need for these particular calls.
US President George W. Bush is campaigning in 6 states on the last day of the presidential election campaign. Polling has the president 1 to 2 points ahead of his Democratic challenger, Senator John Kerry. And in sport, Australia will play Germany in the first round of next year's Confederations Cup. Australia's been drawn in Group A, joining Tunisia and Argentina. And that's the latest news right across Australia. You're listening to Triple J.
Unless you've been living in a small box, you probably realise it's Oz Music Month. Celebrate tomorrow night from 9 as Queensland Unearthed winners Shifter play live on the Home and Host porch, here on Triple J.
he hasn't met a girl like me. Are you kidding? Well, I tell him that I'd rather die.
It is 7:07 on the Jays. Deep Dish and Flash Dance. Adam and Will with you contains the lyric, he's the kind of guy I wouldn't let touch my heart, I'd rather die, which is a valid sentiment if you're talking if he's a love rat.
Yep.
It's like Mark Philippoussis, don't let him in because it'll just hurt you. Not as much a valid sentiment in the case of a friend of mine's dad, who's head of cardiovascular surgery.
I'd let him touch my heart.
At a large city hospital.
If I was going to die.
I'd let him touch my heart.
Yeah, totally.
Well, in fact, if he said to me, look, I've had a look at these stats, you should probably let me touch your heart.
Yep.
He'd be straight in front of the line.
There you go, mate. In those shoes.
Imagine if you were a cardiovascular surgeon and a love rat. That's tough, isn't it? Imagine if Mark Philippoussis was a cardiovascular surgeon.
He'd be really promising early in surgery and then just bomb out disappointingly at all times.
He'd be going, this is the best operation I've ever done. I feel great about it.
He'd be nailing it as he was cutting them open.
Mm,
Here we
yeah.
go. Oh, nobody cuts them open like...
Exactly.
Oh, he's ploughing through the chest.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, there's no way he can...
Oh, he's 7 and aorta. Oh.
A little bit of pressure would happen.
Oh, yeah.
There's to be a tiny little bit... Doc, there's a little bit of pressure. This guy's high blood pressure. The blood pressure's going up. Time of death.
It's going to take another 30
Second
seconds.
round.
It's going to take another 30 seconds to get that suture for you, Doc. 8 minutes past 7. Whereas Alicia Molik, at the moment, God,
Sensational.
I'd let her operate on my heart. If I'd have a quadruple bypass at the moment, I'd go Alicia. Not Leighton, because he's a bit rocky at the moment.
Bit shaky.
Yeah.
You just tear out your heart and you go, how does it feel? Now you know what it's like for me.
I'd get Alicia Molik and I'd have Wayne Arthurs assisting.
Really?
Mate, if I was going to get operated, I'd have the Wayne train in the room.
No, you know what the Wayne train is?
What?
The anaesthetist. It's just like his tennis. Kind of puts you slowly to sleep.
If I had trouble going under.
You just watch the Wayne train in a couple of rallies. You're getting sleepy.
In the Wayne Adam, just count backwards from 10, Adam. And by the time...
Adam, count my top 10 victories backwards.
Here's some footage of me in that Davis Cup qualifier against Paraguay. There you go. He's under. Cut away, Alicia. Professor Molik, in you go. Tell Nurse Philippoussis to get out of here. We won't be needing him today. Tell him to put some pants on. We're in surgery.
Stop calling for new balls.
God, Nurse
Get away
Philippoussis.
from the balls, Nurse Philippoussis.
Have some respect. This is meant to be a sterile area, Nurse Philippoussis. Put it away.
That's not a scalpel.
When I said liquids only, when I said nil by mouth, I meant nil by mouth, Nurse Philippoussis.
That is not the way to take temperature, Nurse Philippoussis.
10 past 7.
Oh, you've touched him. We've lost another one.
10 past 7 on the
Good on
Jays.
you, Nurse Philippoussis. How do you feel now?
Here's the hells. He's the devil, but I love him so. Tripod song on our challenge up this hour. Lane Beachley in for a bit of a chat.
He's the singer in a rock and roll band. He's the one that makes my heart beat fast. He's not the first, he won't be the last. He's the one that doesn't care about my past. Oh no. He's the devil, but I love him so. The guitar player in the
is 12 minutes past 7 on the Jays. Adam and Will with you. We've got Scott down the line. How you going, Scott?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Are you as sad as well? We've only got 19 shows ever to go of Triple J Breakfast with Adam and Will. That means only 4 more Tripod Song on Hour challenges.
I'm sad as anything. I'm
sad
gonna
as?
have to find another job, man.
You'll need to find another job where you can work an hour a week.
Yeah, it's going to be a big hole in the income, that one.
Yeah, the cab charge and $11 we give you. Your accountant will just be pulling his hair out.
But there's the runoff benefits, you know.
Congratulations with Middleborough Road, the CD.
Thanks, man.
Going great guns. There's posters of it around my house. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yep.
The poster shots are the guys from Tripod in bright yellow T-shirts and short white shorts playing table tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And the shot has a sort of table tennis player, so it's just you can't tell which of the Tripod guys it is, from the waist down and holding a little table tennis racket beside them. Now, they're in profile, tight white shorts. I just want to tell you this in case there's a few...
Is it where the word tripod comes from?
There's a few rogue sort of posters in my area. There's absolutely... I don't know if it's got back to you, Scott. There's a bulge.
There's a bulge.
There's a definite bulge.
There's a visible little poking...
You know what? I haven't looked, or maybe I've blacked it out in my brain.
Is it a camel toe?
Yeah, no. It's like it's a little ledge you can make a base jump off.
Oh, really?
Sort of
so
thing.
is it an impressive bulge?
Well, it's tough to get it all in scale.
Right. Look, I can tell you now that's Yanni's bulge.
It's Yanni's.
Those are Yanni's legs.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
I wanted to know who it was.
Doesn't that sound like something you'd find in an Australian national park too? Where have you guys been hiking to today? Yanni's bulge.
Yanni's bulge.
I'm parked near one of those posters this morning. I'm going to check it out.
The traditional owners of Yanni's bulge would ask you not to climb Yanni's bulge.
And now that you put it, because Yanni's the shortest member of the group, so it is quite an impressive bulge.
Right.
He packs a punch. That's for sure.
Yes. What are we setting Tripod this morning as their challenge, Will?
Well, this is from, we had a young listener this morning, Emily.
Yes.
Scott, who needs to do an assignment for a society and environment course at school. She's in year 8 on recycling water and how to save water. So she needs some help in that.
Things like not leaving the tap running when you're brushing your teeth, that sort of gear.
Roger.
And Could there also be a mention of her teacher, Miss Ward?
Yes.
Yep.
And Emily's a bit of a rebel.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a hidden past.
Yeah, she said she's a bit of one of the rebel group at school. We said, what do you do? What's so rebellious? She said, I can't really say, just in case Ms. Ward's listening.
Yes, okay. Well, I think we can do something about that.
So we thought, why don't you just write the song and she can enter that as her project at school?
Sounds fair.
And we thought, today being the day that the race that stops the nation on the first Tuesday in November today.
Yep.
If the song could have a bit of a Melbourne Cup theme, if you could, over the last 30 seconds or so, just ramp up the song in your style of the Melbourne Cup commentary, so by the end it's just
kind of like, at the start it's always like, okay,
moving out and one link back, and
then just as they come around that final bend, it's like, oh, yes,
You're referring to what we call in musical terms a middle eight, then a key change.
Exactly, key change.
I think we can do that.
And that's also how Johnny Tapp refers to it when he's putting together his race call.
And whoever the member of Tripod who says the last words in today's song, they win as far as we're concerned. So it's just the three of you jockeying for position frantically, okay?
Well, that's what we need, more competition amongst us.
Exactly. It's 16
good
past
on you,
7.
Yoko. Now you split up the band.
16 past 7 on Triple J. We look forward to the Song Now Challenge soon, Scott.
See ya.
You're on Triple J with Adam and Will.
Triple J's Gig Guide.
You know it's coming.
But do you know who'll be there?
The Beastie Boys, System of a Down, Chemical Brothers, The Music, The Streets, The Donnas, How to Finger, Green Spoon, Eskimo Joe, Infusion, and heaps more.
Baby, I got you on my mind. I'm not trying to tickle you.
The Big Day Out 2005. Travelling to the Gold Coast, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth, with more bands still to be announced, supported by Triple J.
For more info, head to the Gig Guide at triplej.net.au.
It is about 16 past 7. In the spirit of Tripod's Song and Hour Challenge, we don't give much thought as to what the final thing we're going to throw in.
What?
For the
no. Let's not give away all the secrets of the show.
We pretty much throw that in. We look at each other with about 30 seconds before we speak to Scott there and go, have you got something?
Yeah.
Have you got something?
Yeah.
And
quite often, even like middle of the break when we're talking to them, we suddenly realise, oh, that's right, we meant to throw something else in.
Exactly. Now, that was your suggestion, which I quite like, about giving it a sort of the cadence of a Melbourne Cup commentary. The other two I was going to go with that I sort of had rolling out the back of my head with, either could one of them just make some outlandish prediction for which there's no rational basis, because that's the great thing about Melbourne Cup Day.
You suddenly have people who normally wouldn't even know which end of a horse is which.
Mate, 364 days of the year, no one in Australia knows anything about horse racing.
People who can't even spell TAB.
There are asylum seekers in detention centres in Villawood at the moment who are experts on
Vinnie Rowe looks good.
Tiny bit more rain, Vinnie Rowe could really come home. The other one I was going to suggest was if they could do the song for pretty much the length of the Melbourne Cup, so bringing it in a couple of seconds either side of about 3 minutes 12, 3 minutes 14.
And could they just take a little bit of time to start?
It's about 18 past 7 on the Jays.
Oh, Scott hasn't come in. He's a bit frisky.
Episode 112 of The Weather. Gee, episode 111 is going to go off.
That's the one where all the English people have to stand on one foot?
Exactly. Townsville fine in 31, Brisbane fine in 29, Newcastle thunderstorms in 29, Sydney an early shower or two. Later on in the day, storms 27, Canberra showers and storms 23, Hobart a few showers developing in 19, Adelaide cloudy with a few showers 18, Perth fine in 23, Darwin fine in 34, Alice Springs showers in 38, Melbourne a few morning showers, perhaps an afternoon storm, possibly perfect conditions for English stayer Vinnie Rowe.
Is that your tip?
19 degrees.
Is that your tip?
I'll be making my tip later in the show.
Right, okay, but that's not your tip. Don't rush out and put your money down yet.
It's part of the factual matrix.
But that's not your tip yet.
It's part of the mix that's going on in my head.
Is that your tip?
I haven't made a tip yet.
It's not your tip yet?
Absolutely not. It's too early in the show to go tipping things.
Cool.
We've got Hannah on the line. How are you going, Hannah?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Well, thanks. Why have you given us a call?
I've got a sack today on the Matrix, and I don't understand it.
A school assessment test?
Yes.
Ooh.
How can you have an assessment test on the Matrix?
I don't know.
That's because at least there is it. No one understands the Matrix. Even the people who wrote the Matrix don't understand the Matrix.
On the whole trilogy, or one of the individual films, or what?
No, just on the first one.
Oh,
okay. Okay, the good one.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's the first point to make, I think, Hannah. I mean, it's a metaphor for life.
Yep.
The first episode of The Matrix. That often when you do something for the first time in your life, it's quite interesting.
Yep.
The novelty wears off extremely quickly. Now that can apply.
That's the first message.
That can apply to The Matrix. Yeah. That can apply to
relationships.
Relationships. It can apply to Daryl Summers Dancing with the Stars.
It can apply to work.
It can apply to all sorts of things.
All sorts of things.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The inherent fatigue of overplaying things.
Certainly applies to us.
Absolutely.
So that's the first thing. Second message in The Matrix is, of course, Keanu Reeves is hot.
Yes.
That's he really is hot.
And
despite the fact that he can't act, he is hot.
That's a message for life, because if you think about it, Hannah, a lot of people like to suggest that life's all about integrity and quality and the best will out. But no, if you're pretty cute, you'll get by.
Away with murder.
You'll get by.
So you're going to have a great career and be a talentless hack like Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but you look sensational.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the second message in The Matrix is that appearance, form is much more important than substance.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
the third message is, this is one of my big messages that I got out of it.
Yeah.
If you're a good person, it's cool to kill people.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're a bad person, it's not cool.
No, that's, correct.
Okay.
You seem to understand some of the messages coming through.
Okay, so that's your three messages from The Matrix. One, things get a bit boring with repetition.
Yep.
Two, hot people do better than ugly people. And three, if you're really hot and a good person at heart, you can just hack people down as much as you want.
Cool. What about from a religious angle?
Oh, Jesus would have been heaps cooler if he could do karate.
Yeah, totally.
All right, then.
Okay.
Thanks for that.
No trouble at all.
He never would have got on the cross.
Nah.
If he had a black trench coat and could kick ass.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
That's my message.
Makes sense?
That does.
Best of luck with it.
Plus, if you take pills from a stranger...
Yes.
That exciting things will happen.
All sorts of chaos.
That was the message I got.
I'm sure it was.
If a stranger offers you choice of pills...
No. 21 past...
Lots of exciting things will happen.
21 past 7 on the Jays. Thanks for your call, Hannah. Best of luck.
That's all right, thanks.
Here's Jimmy Eat World.
So many good messages.
I don't feel the way I've ever felt. I know, gonna smile and not get worried. I try, but it shows. Anyone can make what I have built. And better now, anyone can find the same white pills. It takes my pain away. It's a lie. Kiss with open eyes, and she's not bringing back anything would bother me. Takes pride, but it's a false sense of accomplishment. Every time I quit, anyone can see my every flaw. It isn't hard, anyone can say they're above this all. It takes my pain away, it's a lie, just with open eyes. She's not breathing down, or anything but bother me. Takes my pain away, never mind, these are her times. I can't let it bother me. I can't let it bother me. It's a lie, a kiss with open eyes, and she's not breathing back. Anything but bother me. Takes my pain away, never mind, these are her times. I can't let it bother me. Takes my pain, takes my pain, takes my pain away.
7 on the J's, Jimmy Eat World. And Payne on Triple J. Adam and Will with you after 7:30. Lane Beachley's coming in. Remember last time she was in here, she was talking about she's making a DVD of Lane's World. Party time,
Exactly.
excellent.
Life in the fast lane.
About her surfing achievements. And she was getting Aussie acts, unsigned Aussie acts, to submit songs to her that she was going to pick for the DVD. And if you think about it, millions of people around the world are Lane Beachley freaks, and we'll see these bands when they do their work on the DVD.
It's a big deal.
She's coming in after 7:30 with the winning tracks, and we'll play a small sample of each of those. So if you're someone who actually entered Lane Beachley's competition, you might be about to find out that you've won the Lane Beachley Life in the Fast Lane, Get Your Song on her DVD extravaganza.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff.
And then you can screw her for cash.
It's 7 on the J's, and also
Get yourself a lawyer and screw her for money.
the other thing we are doing on Triple J at the moment is playing some highlight sort of songs. People have gone to our grab bag, triplej.net.au, grabbed some of the highlights we've got of the shows, mucked them up into songs. This is a fantastic one by Peter Richardson. You remember the song A Passage to India?
No.
The movie A Passage to India?
Oh, yes.
Well, this is A Passage to Willabelongaloo. Remember
Oh, was that one of the places on the Will tour?
Where's
Willabelongaloo?
A Passage to Willabelongaloo by Peter Richardson on Triple J. This is quite good. It's 26 past 7.
Willabelongaloo.
Willabelongaloo. Well, now, what's Willabelongaloo like? Quite cool.
Hot and damp.
Willabelongaloo.
What's Willabelongaloo like? Like an area where there's trees and stuff like that. Good for your toilet humor.
Backstairs
Passage where you get strong wind warning.
Strong wind warning for the backstage passage.
The backstairs has strong wind warning for the backstairs passage.
The funniest word.
Big Willie song. Sounds like a weird word. It doesn't really in.
How old are you?
Willie. Hot and damp.
How old are you? Come on! Hot and damp.
Sounds like a weird word, doesn't it?
Come on!
Strong wind warning.
Willie in.
Willie Scott.
Willie Scott.
Willie.
Sounds like a weird word, doesn't it?
Strong wind warning.
How old are you? A Passage to Willabelongaloo.
I like that. That was good.
It wasn't bad, was it?
Best song we get, we'll play as our last ever song on air.
Just mail them to us. GPO Box 9994 in your capital city. 27 past 7 on the J's. Here's the bank holidays. And tread easy. Lane Beachley up to 7:30.
I was taller than I'd ever been. Now I'm no smaller than I seem. Oh yeah. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
It's Oz Music Month on Triple J. You hear more of those guys, the bank holidays and Tread Easy, 7:30.
Hi, Rhianna Patrick with Triple J News headlines. The Democrats want the federal government to pressure the Pentagon into appointing 3 new panel members to the military commission at Guantanamo Bay after 3 of them were removed because of bias concerns. A Palestinian boy's been shot dead by Israeli soldiers at a West Bank refugee camp, while in Tel Aviv, 3 Israelis have been killed in a suicide bombing. Gold Coast schoolies could be forced to pay a $30 levy to help fund the event. The standoff over the presidency of French Polynesia is now being fought out in Paris. This year's Melbourne Cup could go either way depending on the weather. And a South African schoolboy has appealed to education authorities after refusing to answer an exam question on Harry Potter, which was worth 30%, because he believes the books promote witchcraft.
Yeah, did very well in the burning lesbian bit of the exam, though.
Oh, did he really?
Right.
Oh, he nailed that. Does he also, when he's, like, would he refuse to do Macbeth? Because that starts with the witches?
I don't know.
Wizard of Oz? Is he against that?
Wouldn't it be awesome if you could just refuse to answer certain questions in exams because you're a conscientious objector? You know? I've never agreed with particle physics. I'm sorry. I refuse to answer questions 2, 4 and 6.
Yeah.
And also I'm philosophically opposed to calculus. I'm sorry. The geometry, I agree with. Calculus.
I did that once at uni, you know.
How'd that go?
It was Torres Strait Islander studies and I nearly failed, despite the fact I'm a Torres Strait Islander. Yeah.
You just keep writing down, well, this is how my family does it.
Yeah.
And we're one of them.
Now,
Which book? Written when in the 60s? Oh, I don't think so.
Now, when you say the Melbourne Cup could go either way, are you saying clockwise or anti-clockwise? Or they're going to decide that on the day?
I'm saying if it rains, they might run clockwise. If it doesn't, they might run the other way.
No, she's talking about Millsy at the after-show party.
He could go either way.
Yeah.
It's about 28 to 8
They did Paris last year, and who's the guest this year? Carson.
Here's Kings of Leon.
Shut up.
And the bucket. Thank you, Rhianna Patrick. Lane Beach over this half hour. Tripod's Song of an Hour Challenge.
I'll be the one to show you the way. You'll be the one to always complain. 3 in the morning, come my bed.
That is the Kings
Great
of Leon
band.
on Triple J and The Bucket.
Good band.
Adam and Will with you, and it's a pleasure to welcome to the microphone the woman who is still a mathematical chance to win her 7th back-to-back world surfing title. Lane Beachley, how you going?
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Are you still in the zone? Are you still in the mind frame that you can still take this baby home?
I think I'm in the wrong zone at the moment.
Right.
Where are you? How many events to go in the season?
There's 2 to go. I fly to Hawaii on Saturday.
And if you win both of those events...
I win both of those events and both my competitors that are in the lead break their legs, I think I'm a
Or
good
drown.
chance. Or drown.
Or taken by sharks.
Or just mysteriously disappear.
Do those women both need to not make the semis or the quarters or what?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't done the mathematics. I haven't put down the chances. I don't
Is there
know.
any chance you could get your boyfriend in a shark suit just to abduct them, like in the early
I don't think my
rounds?
boyfriend can swim.
When you're on tour, do you take a team mathematician with you? I presume you've got a physio and a nutritionist. Do you have someone there going,
Oh, yes, well, Lane.
Yeah.
Must make round 4 today, Lane.
That's my ex-boyfriend was like that, though. He used to map out what had happened. Actually, when I
Big
won...
Ken.
Big Ken.
He used to crunch the numbers.
He did crunch the numbers. I think it was right before I won my 5th world title. I was in France, and he got the rating sheet, and he mathematically mapped out what had to happen for me to win.
Great work.
And
Ken.
what had happened previously. And basically, he concluded that I had literally no chance of winning my 5th world title.
You idiot.
Yes.
The master motivator.
Once
Master.
again,
Yeah.
maths is wrong.
I
Just
proved it
another
wrong.
example.
Another example is why you should choose not to do it at school.
Were you with your current boyfriend when you won last year's world title?
I was.
You already were, right?
Yes.
So if you missed this one would be because if you came to the new boyfriend
Yeah.
and it was your first one ever, then
Yeah.
the ex-boyfriend's got
I
some
think-
serious stats.
I think that's why Kirk was so adamant that I had to win last year. Yeah, just so.
Because suddenly you'd be like Delta to Mark Philippoussis or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yes, I'd be lacking the other.
Yeah.
Therefore, I should not win.
But there is a DVD, speaking of Delta in Paris, but it's not that sort of DVD, is it?
No,
There
mine
is a
won't be
DVD coming out.
Mine is a G rating.
There's no hidden tracks.
No,
Okay.
there's no hidden vision.
Yeah. This one's available in shops, not just downloaded off exclusive sites on the
Exactly.
internet.
It's
No
not even
footage
on
of
the-
you riding the big ones.
Yeah, I got towed into those.
Which I'm sure you did. Now, because we spoke to you a while ago, and the great concept with this DVD, and the actual DVD is called?
Life in the Fast Lane.
I like it.
A bit of a pun on words.
The idea was that you're giving great Aussie acts
Yes.
the chance to put some tracks on the DVD
Yes.
that'll be seen around the world. How many? I presume they got about 10 or 15 entries.
I think I got a couple of hundred.
Really?
Are you serious?
I'm
Fantastic.
serious.
Right.
And I listened to every single one of them. There was some very, very good, which made it onto the DVD.
there were
There was some
others.
very, very bad that I just pressed play for about 5 seconds and went, what? Not what I'm after, but thanks for sending it.
Did you get the one we occasionally get them with Unearthed with the long letter going, look, I haven't really had time to finish it, but here's where it's at the
Yes.
moment. And I didn't go into a recording studio. It's on a tape.
A little bit
and
too raw.
I had to play all that, but this should give you an idea of what it's like.
Yeah. Can you actually join the tracks together?
Yeah.
All the instruments together?
A bit where you sort of hear, okay, Mum, push
Okay,
play.
let's go, Mum.
Mum.
Yeah. No, push record, Mum, not play.
No, you
Mum.
have to, play and record.
Turn your mobile off. Turn your mobile off.
Can you get Dad to stop mowing the lawn?
Yeah.
I can hear it on the tape.
Yeah.
But a couple of those got on.
A couple of those got on, yes. There's some quality tracks on there, especially the INXS one.
Why don't we? Yeah, because I noticed this.
That's another unsigned Aussie track.
I guess strictly at the moment they are, aren't
Yes,
they?
theoretically
Okay,
they are,
excellent.
yeah.
Okay. And the Eagles, Life in the Fast Lane by the Eagles.
Well, a friend of mine, a friend of Kirk's, a guy called Guy Delandro, rewrote the track and remixed it.
Oh.
So it's, yeah.
Oh, so there's a Life in the Fast Lane remix.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
So all the money, everyone who buys this DVD will be basically
Supporting unsigned acts.
getting money together for your lawyers for when the Eagles sue your
Yeah.
sorry ass.
No, we got published. Right?
Okay. Now, well, why don't we play a couple of tracks off it?
Yep.
And here we go, because you've watched a lot of surfing videos, DVDs.
Dude,
you
that's
know?
what I do.
Exactly. We'll play a few tracks, and let's try and work out what part of the DVD.
What chapter the music
that's
goes
nice.
over.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
nice.
good.
Okay, well,
Now, I guess we got to give people an idea. It's not a documentary film.
okay.
Yeah, it's a film that illustrates what I do in my life, the
Okay.
things that I do, the places that I go, the people I surf
Well,
with.
these guys are from Adelaide, Brunatech, so I like them. This is a
Okay.
track called This Day.
All right. Love scene.
In a wetsuit.
You're Kirk on the beach, sort of rolling around, like, they're
Well,
As the waves crash gently on the shore.
Well, this is the first song, so it's kind of starting. The chapter name is called Then to Now, so there's a bit of
So
a.
it starts with you getting it on with
Right, wow,
straight
on
into
the
the
back,
business.
get into
Bloody
the
hell.
business. And then I can imagine you rolling around on the surf.
Yep.
Well, that's what you do.
You're mashing, like you're kind of making out on the sand.
Mashing.
And then what happens is you look over Kurt's shoulder and you just go, wow, they're good waves. Get off me. You grab a board.
I gotta
and
go
you
out.
charge out into the surf.
Honey, step aside. I'm heading out there.
Yeah, it's the surf that's pumping, dude. And you're off into the water. Okay, nice. I like that. Let's go for now.
Oh, it goes a little faster in the end.
Oh, right.
I'm sure it
Come
does.
on, let it speed up, because we all speed up and do eventually.
Now, have these guys found out they're on the DVD
Yes,
yet?
every one of these acts have found out that they're on the DVD.
Congratulations.
I think they've actually had to sign a release form saying, we'll give our music away for you.
Right.
Were any of them really holding out?
No, maybe one or two.
Oh,
but
really?
Most of them were
In
pretty...
Excess and the Eagles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. I like a bit of the Brunatex.
Yeah, we love it.
Okay, now there's another track from guys called The Ride-Ons, who you saw live.
I went and saw live at the Hope Town last night.
And what are the Ride-Ons like?
Very entertaining.
Okay, we'll put this into the song.
Get off the horse wheel.
So this for me is loading up the boards, getting in the combi.
Yeah, totally.
You guessed it.
Yeah, that's
It's
totally got that sort of feel to it.
Yeah,
Heading down to the beach,
Yeah.
realising the surf's not good, going, well, hey,
Oh, well.
I got a few in the back.
Yeah. I got this bucket in the back with
Here
some
we go.
hoses.
Here we-
Come on.
Oh, here's the guys from the Kings of Leon. Let's have a party.
Hey, Oemcke, you got any Tim Tams?
Okay,
Good, I like that
nice. And there's
That's good. They go all right.
there's a track here by the Through My Eyes by the Reverend B. Stone. So I
Is
presume
that the Reverend B.
Have a listen.
Stone?
that comes off the back of the combi track. Yeah. Let's see what the Reverend. See what
the Reverend B.
The
Stone.
Reverend B. Stone would be the guy who's always there when the surf's not up.
What's the Reverend packing?
What do you got, Rev?
That's the Reverend on the bongos, isn't it? Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, just take away the O.
And is this the scene with Ben Stiller
Yeah, there's got a touch of Jack Johnson
in the film
about it,
clip, and
doesn't it?
Jackie Johnson's there, and
He's
everyone's
producing my chapter this week.
This is very unusual sort of music to be on a surf video.
It's a very unusual surf video.
radical.
Yeah, is it blowing your mind or what?
This is good though. Those are good tracks.
I've got some amazing music.
So
There's
where's-
so many amazing artists out there.
Where's the DVD out? Is it ready?
Well, it's not out yet. It comes out on November 29, and it's going to be available in most department stores, music stores, and then surf stores.
Good DVD stores.
Good DVD stores.
Around
All
the
good
nation.
DVDs.
And when do you wrap
That's right.
up your unparalleled 7th World Championship, mathematically speaking?
Mathematically speaking, it'll be wrapped up by December 20, which will be
Nice.
at Honolulu Bay in Maui.
When do you start the next streak? I mean, obviously this was a year off. When do you start the next 7?
It's about to be the next 7th world time. That trick comes out March the 1st next year when I go back on tour. I'll have January and February off, and then I'll get back to work in March. So
If it doesn't, if it doesn't work out this year and the title goes to somebody else,
Yes.
will that be a point in your career where you go, well, maybe there's other interests in my life that I want to pursue now, or will that be a point in your career where you go, God,
Right.
this really hurts. Next year I'm going to win in about March.
Well, I think I've already embraced the idea that, okay, that's a point in my career where there's other things going on. I've been a little bit distracted this year. My focus has definitely been more out of the water than in the water. And after winning my 6th world title, I felt kind of tired, fatigued.
Yep.
I was like, okay, I'm tired, I'm done, I need a break. And so I've taken this year off mentally. I couldn't take it off physically because I've seen Kelly Slater come back after 1 year off and it took him 3 years to win an event. I do not want to go through that. So I thought, all right, I'll just take the year off mentally, see how I go, and if I know what it takes to win, I know what it takes to lose, and I've definitely done what it takes to lose this year. And then next year, I've committed myself to having another good crack at it. And if I don't win, then I've really got nothing left to prove.
It's an amazing coincidence because Will's actually taken this year off mentally as well.
And
Yes.
physically.
Yeah.
You're wasting away to nothing.
Yeah. Well, yes. Mentally, you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, mentally. Has your brain lost some weight?
It really has. It's been thinning drastically.
Look,
Your
I've
head
been
has
hanging out
shrunk.
with the Reverend B. Stone too much.
Best of luck with the last couple.
Thank you.
You're still a mathematical shot
Yes, I am.
at the title. And the thing I do know about you, Lane Beachley, is you're going to go down swinging.
How do you know that?
Oh, well, so to speak. Whoa, it's about 7:45 on
In
Triple
fact,
J.
I think that music from Brunatex was in the scene where she goes down swinging.
Thanks a lot for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Lane.
Let's
You're
go
on.
swing.
Triple J's Australian Music Month. Hello, this is Pinky Beecroft from Machine Gun Fellatio. I'm being asked at the moment what is my favourite Australian band. I think I'd have to say the Hilltop Hoods. I got the album The Calling a while back and just couldn't stop playing it. It seemed to burrow its way into my CD stacker and not come out.
Let me introduce myself. Rice and beers, Suffer MC, been doing this for more than 10 years.
Fully commit yourself to Australian music on Triple J.
It is 14 to 8 on the Jays. Adam and Will with you. That's probably the last time Lane Beach will be live on the show. Oh, God. We carried her all this way. Episode. Well, we've done all we can, Lane.
I'd be nothing without
And now that she's not going to win the world title, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Now that the Australians have won in India, Lane Beachley's won 6.
It's unfinished business. We've done it.
We're
what else
gone.
Can we do?
Episode 111 of The Weather.
Oh, if you're an English person, English cricket fan, you must be standing on one leg right
Exactly.
now.
The English often refer anecdotally to the number 111 as Nelson, because by the end of his career he had one arm, one leg, one eye. Nelson. Didn't have much left at all. No wonder they got him at Trafalgar. Towns were fine in 31, Brisbane fine in 29, Newcastle thunderstorms in 29, Sydney an early shower or two, later storms 27, Canberra showers and storms 23, Hobart a few showers developing in 19, Adelaide cloudy with a few showers in 18, Perth fine in 23, Darwin fine in 34, Alice Springs showers in 38. Melbourne, a few morning showers are a possibility, though at the moment it's fine. Perhaps an afternoon storm. It could be perfect conditions for Distinction.
Is that your tip?
The English horse, 19 degrees. It's in the mix.
Is that your tip?
Is
that the one you're going on the record saying this will win the Melbourne Cup?
I haven't yet. I haven't made a decision yet.
No.
Distinction's the one.
But you will say that at some stage.
Distinction's the one that really nags me because, pardon the pun, because it missed a run a few days ago with illness.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, if Distinction was fit,
is that your tip? You've got to, you've got to make a tip.
I know.
You can't just say a lot of horses' names and pretend tomorrow you picked it.
This is the toughest.
You've got to make a tip.
It's the toughest one ever for me. I'm really close on Distinction.
Are you going to make a tip?
I will make a tip before 9 o'clock.
All right.
I'm really close on Distinction. I just don't know. It's about 13 to 8. One thing I do know.
What do you know?
Someone who doesn't make tips, he just talks facts after
Who's
8
that?
o'clock. Professor Will.
Oh, God.
Professor Will is in after 8 o'clock, and this is a traditional Professor Will that we do in the middle of the HSC, VCE exams. You might have a big science exam coming up soon for your Year 12s. Maybe you did HSC biology yesterday in New South Wales, and it's nagging as to whether you got something right or not. You can ask the good professor. You can sort it out in your mind. 1-800-0536, 1-800-0536 if you'd like to talk to Professor Will just after 8 o'clock. We've got Tripod Song of an Hour Challenge up next. Here's Air and Radio 1 on Triple J.
number one. La, la. Radio number
Oh, it's about 8 to 8 on the Jays. That is Air and Radio number one. Adam and Will with you. Tripod's Song in an Hour Challenge Day is born out of Emily from Perth's school assignment where she has to compose a song about the need to save and recycle water. She thought, well, what the hell? Can't I just get Tripod to do it for me? And I'll enter that. What else have we tacked onto it, Will? It's going to mention Ms. Ward, her teacher.
She's got, and also Emily's a bit of a rebel.
Oh, yeah.
With a hidden agenda, hidden past.
She wouldn't tell us why, but she's a bit of a rebel, reference to that. And in the spirit of the Melbourne Cup, if the last 30 seconds you could just pick up and up and up and finish in a mad flurry of flesh. 7 to 8 on the Jays. Take it away, Tripod.
Yeah. I thought my days of doing other people's homework would finish when I finished doing high school. The threat of physical violence doesn't scare me. No, it won't work. I'm a grown-up. But Emily sounds so sweet. Maybe just this one time I ought to help complete a little song about saving water. I can't very well say no on national radio, and Emily sounds so sweet. Hey, 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 hey. Limit your shower time by using a neck timer, but there's better ways of timing shorter showers. I would personally opt for singing Bowie's song Jean Genie or Blue Jean.
Yeah, I mean, that gives you roughly the right amount of time. Any Bowie song with jeans in it, basically. Actually, any song with jeans in it. Everybody's wearing blue jeans. Just not Baby Makes Her Blue Jeans Tour by Dr. Who. That's just too long.
And Emily sounds so sweet. You gotta give her points for trying. Sure, she didn't write this song, but at least she isn't lying. She had the guts to go on national radio, and Emily sounds so sweet. What do we really know about this Emily person? Yeah. We don't know what she wants or where she comes from. Who knows where? She could be an agent of evil, we just don't know. But she sounds so sweet. Oh, she sounds so sweet. Emily sounds so sweet. One day I'd like to meet you, as long as you promise me and introduce me to your teacher. I would like that a lot, cause Miss Ward sounds really hot, and Emily sounds so sweet. Emily sounds so sweet. Maybe just one time I ought to help complete a little song about saving water. I can't very well say no to the topic on national radio, and Emily sounds so sweet. Hey, 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 yeah.
Oh, Tripod.
Very sensible, because also sucking up to Emily's teacher.
Yeah, nice.
And she could be an agent of evil.
Now, I know that Tripod are on in Sydney this weekend doing your Christmas show. Is that right?
That's right. Newtown RSL for our ostensibly Christmas show.
And also, all the Tripod details are on the Adam and Will live page on the Triple J Breakfast Show webpage if you need details there.
Happy ostensible Christmas to you both.
Thanks.
It's about 4 to 8 on Triple J. Adam and Will with you now. After 8 o'clock, Professor Will is in Dar Lab to answer your questions about the world of science, in particular. If you're a Year 12 student and you've got some exams coming up and they're freaking out a bit, physics. He loves physics. He loves biology. He's mad on geography. He's not quite as strong on computers and information science, but he's happy to give it a go.
He'll give everything a bash.
Give it a bash. 1-800-055536. 055536 if you'd like to talk to Professor Will after 8 o'clock. Also in the last hour of the show, Steve Oemcke is our guest, Steve, on The Essence of Steve, and I will be making my Melbourne Cup tip. In my mind, in the sort of factual matrix, I've got it down to about 4 horses at the moment. I'm waiting for some late mail. I've got Koshy down at Flemington,
right,
and he's out there just sticking a key in the track for me, telling me where it's at. You'll hear after 8 o'clock. Here is Fabienne Del Sol, and I'm going to haunt you on Triple J to get us up to the 8 o'clock news. Give us a call if you want to speak to Professor Will. 1800 055536.
Gonna haunt you till your dying day. I'm gonna make you wish you'd never gone away. I'm there beside you every day, and through the night time too. And you can't get away. No, you can't get away. I'm gonna haunt you. No matter where you try and hide, no one will haunt you. Just never keep you satisfied. So softly I'll remind you of the ways you let me down. And you can't get away. No, you can't get away. You'd never leave me, and I would always be the one. You played me for a fool, and please believe me, you'll pay for what you've done. Gonna haunt you till your dying day. Gonna make you wish you'd never gone away. I'm there beside you every day, and through the night time too. And you can't get away. No, you can't get away. I'm gonna haunt you. I'm gonna haunt you. Gonna haunt you. Gonna haunt you.
Hi, Rhianna Patrick with Triple J News. A man's been beaten to death in central London during an apparent spate of homophobic attacks, which the city's mayor has condemned as vicious and cowardly. Police say 37-year-old David Morley died after being severely beaten by a group of people after he left a gay nightclub in the city centre. Both candidates in the US presidential election campaign have embarked on a marathon last day of campaigning. Before dawn, George W. Bush set out on his final 19-hour campaign day.
It's like that marathoner stretch, that finish line is in sight.
Meanwhile, Democrat challenger Senator John Kerry will whiz through Florida, Wisconsin, Ohio and Michigan.
The choice of a lifetime is on that ballot. This is the most important election of our lives, and we need you.
At this stage, many polls are calling it a tie, but others have President Bush on 1 to 2 points ahead of Kerry. Meanwhile, in another development, a sheriff's deputy in Florida has tackled, punched and arrested a journalist for taking pictures of people waiting in line to cast early ballots. A spokesman says the deputy was enforcing a new rule which stops reporters from interviewing or photographing voters lined up outside polling booths. A North Queensland lawyer says the state government needs to provide help for alcoholics on Cape York or more people will be jailed. Yesterday, Michael McElhaney's client was handed a suspended 7-day prison term after breaking alcohol restrictions for the 4th time on the Aboriginal community of Napranum. Mr McElhaney says his client's an alcoholic and without detox services, he'll probably breach the suspension and be sent to jail.
If you're going to bring in these sorts of laws, then you've got to have help for the people who really aren't in a position to help themselves.
Mr McElhaney says turning problem drinkers into criminals isn't the solution. The car parks at Flemington are starting to fill with more than 100,000 spectators expected for this year's Melbourne Cup. So what is it about the first Tuesday in November that has people sitting in car parks at sunrise drinking champagne?
It's a spring carnival thing, I think. It brings out the best and probably the worst in a lot of Melbourne and Victorian people, and indeed probably a lot of people from around the world.
Makybe Diva is the favourite for this year's race, but if it rains, Vinnie Rowe or Mamul could also have a chance. To cricket, and captain Ricky Ponting has recovered from a thumb injury and will return to lead his side in the 4th test against India starting in Mumbai tomorrow. Ponting replaces the injured Darren Lehmann, who's returning home. Fast bowler Glenn McGrath is suffering from the flu but is expected to play. And that's the latest. You're listening to Triple J.
November is Triple J's Australian Music Month. Keep listening for details about special live events which you can be a part of.
Make a date with some Australian music on Triple J.
Born a year punk broke days before the king was dead. It was the year of the snake. I was a red-faced child, a summer where he tread was catching all lit foul. My parents named me Ed. I tried my hardest to smile, and like my daddy said, I tried to be myself. Sometimes daydreaming for hours, wishing for dangerous light. Cut the leash some slack, run into the morning light, race the trains by the track until my mouth feels dry. But can you count on me? I'ma let you down in a world that is so sensational. That you can count on me. I'm living for the now, up against the older generation's wall. Born in the 70s, born in the 70s. After a length of time, you're this parody, just like the record stuck, always repeating the past, but never liked you before. You had no reason to last. We're in a silent war, a telepathic past. Like my daddy said, these are exciting times. The future grabs my throat and lets me know it's alright. If I believe in love and I believe in hate too, I taste the darker stuff, drink from some lasting truth. Can you count on me? I'ma let you down in a world that is so sensational. No, you can count on me. I'm living for the now, up against the older generation's wall. Born in the 70s, born in the 70s, born in the 70s, born in the 70s.
It is 8:06 on Triple J. Adam and Will with you. You've got Professor Will coming up next. Coming up this hour, I will predict the winner of the Melbourne Cup. Well, I'll mention a horse in the Melbourne Cup, which may or may not win. And Steve Oemcke is our guest in the Essence of Steve. 8:06 on the Jays. Professor Will up next.
November is Triple J's Australian Music Month.
And we'll be turning the feature spotlight on some of the exciting new local albums around. First up is Sydney group Gelbison. They formed in 2000 and their first EP was recorded in a lounge room in Bondi and released on their own label.
Hope falls gently from the modern gun.
Their debut album came out 2 years later and it was produced by good mate Ian Ball from Gomez. It gained them widespread praise. Now Gelbison are releasing their second CD, See the World. So listen out for it to expand your experiences.
Go on, throw yourself at some Australian music on Triple J.
His brain is so immense. His knowledge knows no bounds. His is the one mind with which I cannot compete. Australia, strap your loins to your cerebellums. It's time for Professor Will.
It is 8:07 on Triple J. Adam with you. Professor Will is in lab. Thanks for joining us this morning, Professor Will.
Oh, good to be here. Thank you, Professor Adam.
How are you this morning?
Fine and or dandy. Thank you very much.
Very exciting but stressful time of year for some of our Year 12 listeners in particular, up to their necks in their HSCs, VCEs, their SACEs. Were you a stellar student in high school yourself, Professor Will? Did you really step up at exam time? Are you the sort of person who would just nail exams?
Oh, well, I mean, I majored in LSDs.
Right.
And, I nailed Purple Dragons.
Excellent.
Yeah, I nailed Flying Lizards.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think it was the time when my mind was open most to,
new theories.
New theories, new ideas. And, the importance of chemistry.
Sure, absolutely.
So, I think it was an awakening for me.
Biochemistry in particular?
I guess, look, I used to do a lot of experiments at home in the basement.
Sure.
And I think it's where my love of science came from.
Fantastic. Excellent.
You've got to have an open mind to be interested in science.
Sure, I'm sure.
Sometimes you've got to think outside the box.
Sure.
Or the square.
I'm sure
or
you
the
do.
dragon.
Well, especially if there's a dragon inside the box trying to chase you out. Exactly. Now, what would your message be to a lot of our Year 12 students at the moment who are very stressed out? It's a very nerve-wracking time. Should you get stressed out about these exams? Should you be thinking, if I get this wrong here, it's going to ruin my life?
Yes. That's exactly what you should be thinking.
Oh, okay.
You only get one shot at life. It's like that Eminem song. If you had one shot, one opportunity.
Really?
If you mess this up, you might as well... I'll tell you what. Stock up on Goon now and find yourself a park bench to sleep under, you losers.
Really?
Exactly. This is your shot.
If you get as much
If you stuff this is pretty much... It's all over.
Okay, but just say you're doing an exam that's got, say, some multiple choices, then some essay questions, then some short answers, and it's literally the very first question in the exam.
Yep.
Multiple choice, and you're not quite sure about that. I would
give up. Give up.
No, surely you don't spend too much time on that.
In.
And just
give up.
No, surely you move.
Run screaming from the room and get to the bottle shop first for the Goon. Run.
Surely you go to the essays or do
no. Well, no point in hanging around being a loser.
Okay.
That's my advice for the kids.
Tough but fair. Okay.
Well, no, you got to tell like it is, you know?
No,
you got to tell like it is.
You certainly are, Professor Will. We've got Nicola from Canberra on the line. How are you going, Nicola?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thanks. What's your question for Professor Will?
We're not actually in Year 12, but we've got a regatta on Saturday, and we need to know how to achieve full velocity in a boat when rowing.
A rowing race on the weekend. How do you achieve full velocity in a rowing boat, Professor Will?
Well, there's a couple of... what sort of rowing boat is it? What is like you're in a
4 and 8?
Yeah, we're in a 4.
4.
Coxed or coxless?
Coxed.
4.
Yep. All right. So it's not a coxless 4, it's a coxed 4.
Coxed 4.
A coxed 4.
Women's coxed 4.
A women's coxed 4. I think I saw that on that. There's something about Miriam. There was a women's cox 4 on that, I think.
I'm sure there was, Professor Will.
Very interesting scientific discovery for that one.
What's your advice for Professor Nicola?
Well, what you need, Professor Nicola, there's 3 ways to achieve maximum velocity.
3 ways?
Yes.
Okay.
Firstly, make sure one of your rowers isn't Sally Robbins.
Okay.
That's a good first step.
Okay.
Check that there's no Sally Robbins involved.
Okay.
The second one is get the cocks to row.
You got to row, Midge.
Right, Midge.
Yeah, Midge, you've got to row.
Get ready, Midge.
This is going to give you a big advantage over the other. She'll have to obviously learn to row backwards.
Yeah, because no offence, Nicola, but Midge has been bludgeoned.
Exactly.
Yeah, Midge is a blood.
Exactly.
Enough of the yelling, a little bit more with the rowy.
Okay, so we get Midge working. Okay, no Sally Robbins, get Midge working. And the third tactic to achieving full velocity in a rowboat?
Outboard motor.
Really?
Yep.
Excellent.
Just underneath. You can hide it away.
Excellent.
Just tell them Midge has gas.
Excellent.
What's that sound? Oh, Midge had some curry.
Okay.
She's very gassy.
Best of luck, Nicola.
Thank you.
Make sure you give us a call back and let us know how you went, okay?
Will do. Thank you.
And
Bye.
remember, if you lose, you're a failure.
Okay, we've got Michael from Oberon on the line. How are you, Michael?
Very well, thank you.
What is your question for Professor Will?
I'd like to know if many hands make light work, why do too many cooks spoil the broth?
If many hands make light work... I see what you're saying. Many hands make light work, Professor Will, but too many cooks spoil the broth. How do we strike a balance? What's going on here?
It's a great question, Professor Michael. I actually did the leading research on the many hands make light work.
Really?
It was a series of what we did. We went through different occupations and saw how many of them it took to change a light bulb.
Okay.
It's many hands make lights work.
Oh, lights.
It was originally.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And so we went through and, we had the old, how many comedians does it take to change a light bulb?
Sure.
One to do it and then everyone else to stand around going, that was shit.
Oh, okay.
That sort of stuff.
Sure.
And we went through every occupation and experimented on how many it took to change a light bulb.
Oh, okay. So you did a sample size across various... Okay.
Yeah, like how many professors does it take to change a light bulb? One to change it, one to be a control group, and one to apply for funding.
There you go.
So, we did this basically through.
I see what you're saying.
So I did all that leading, and it turned out that many hands made the light work.
Okay.
So that was the first thing.
Good.
Check. Done. Why do too many cooks spoil the broth? Well, this was actually very prescient. Sometimes in science you come up with a theory that can't be proved. Like, it's theoretical, but it can't be proved until later there's been more scientific advances or something comes along.
Einstein with special relativity took hundreds of years, took many years to have
this theory,
the devices.
But then later on, someone could go, oh, hang on, that was true.
Confirm it with observations.
Yeah,
okay.
Correct. Well, this was actually years ago, a bit of science, but it was actually about the Channel 10 TV series The Cooks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is actually so bad, it makes soup go off.
Really?
That's right.
You serious?
Yeah, so too many episodes of The Cooks makes your soup go off.
So if you've got
This is why they had to cancel it after one episode.
If you've got a television in your kitchen...
That's right.
Don't watch Channel 10's The Cooks.
It'll turn it sour.
People will die of food poisoning.
People will die of... That was the leading cause of food poisoning this year.
Really?
Yep, that first
People
episode
watching
of The Cooks.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Luckily, there was only a small amount of people who watched.
Does it make sense, Michael?
Sure does. Thank you very much.
No, thank you
No
very
worries,
much.
mate.
And
Good luck with your exam.
Don't forget, Michael.
If you fail, you're a loser.
Okay.
Okay.
We've got Alice from Hobart on the line. How are you going, Alice?
I'm good, thanks.
What is your question for Professor Will?
I'd like for you to solve for me the problem of causation.
Are you studying causation?
Yes, we are. Philosophy.
Oh, really? What year at university?
First year.
Oh, and have you
Now,
got...
this is the theory of causation. This is the theory that whenever there's a poll of your friends about who you'd root in the cause, no one ever says the bloke.
Yes.
Is that theory?
Kind of.
Kind of. Run us through the theory of causation as you know it.
Theory of causation,
What
basically...
they've been telling you at this university.
One of the big questions is kind of things like, will the sun rise tomorrow? We have no reason, it's just as rational to say that it's not going to rise than it will.
Where do you live?
In Hobart.
Hobart. Well, yeah, there's a 50-50 chance the sun will rise tomorrow. It's sometimes hard to tell in Hobart. Got to be honest with you.
My answer is yes for tomorrow, no for Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. So we've sorted that out. So it sounds to me like you're actually studying meteorology, but I think what you're saying, the idea behind causation, I think, is if things have happened a series of times, is that any indication that it's going to happen again?
Well, yeah, look, that's true. Like, the sun won't necessarily rise tomorrow.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
There are some things that you can take to the bank.
Oh, okay.
Some things that are immutable laws of nature.
Events for which causation has already been established.
Correct.
Give us an example, Professor Will.
Any TV show that stars Daryl Summers will be shit.
Okay.
Without exception.
Okay.
Any show that stars Daryl Summers.
You got that one, Alice?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Anytime there is a sex scandal at a high school on TV, the teacher involved will teach PE.
PE, okay, there you go.
It's done.
Okay.
Or at least, take a couple of PE classes.
Okay, no trouble.
Right?
Okay.
And at university...
This is our third independent causation established event.
Yeah. If you meet in first or second year university a virgin,
yep,
they will either be religious or majoring in maths.
There you go.
Cause and effect.
Sometimes both. There you go. Okay, so you've got the Daryl Summers phenomenon there. You've got
the dodgy PE teacher phenomenon.
The PE phenomenon and the mathematical virgin paradox.
Yeah, I'll be sure to write it up.
Make sure you mention all of those today, Alice. Best of luck.
Okay,
and
thanks.
don't forget with your exam.
Yeah, if you fail, You're a failure. You're a failure.
Okay, there's no I in team, but there is an I in failure.
Exactly.
Don't forget that. Otherwise, it'd be failure.
Exactly.
Which is French.
Yeah.
Thank you
There's
very
no A in failure except the one at the start.
Exactly. There's an I in failure and a U in failure.
Yeah.
So the we in failure.
Exactly.
And if you took both of them out and changed the R to an S, it'd be false.
Exactly.
Think about that, Alice,
and there's
okay?
a far in failure too.
Isn't there?
Like far away.
You understand?
And RAF, like the airbase.
We can only...
Well, but spelt bad.
Yeah, exactly. We can only help
exactly.
you. We can only
help you so much, though.
Thank you very much, for Alice.
Sometimes you'll get there's a lure.
Isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lure in failure.
There's an if in failure.
Isn't there?
Backwards and split
Exactly.
up. Thank you very much.
And also
for
the shortening of the name Fiona. That's in failure as well.
We're really going to have to go, Alice.
Okay,
We can't help you anymore.
We can't help you anymore.
Thank you very much for your call.
There's AI, like artificial insemination, the abbreviation of artificial insemination.
Really?
AI in failure.
The Steven Spielberg film AI is in the middle of failure, which is quite fitting. Thank you very much. Thank you very
As
much.
in Midge Ure, the pop artist from the 80s in Britain.
Alice,
There's a
we've
Ure
really got to
in
go.
failure. I've got to go, Alice.
Please let us
Stop.
go, Alice.
Please, Alice, stop.
You've got this. You've got an exam today.
Alice.
See you later.
Come on.
Bye.
It's about 17 past 8 on Triple J. Thank you very much, Professor
No
Will.
worries. RE as well. Like the religious education.
Really?
That's in failure.
Excellent.
As well.
Triple J's Gig Guide.
2 massive music events running the same lineup on the same weekend with an ocean between them. Somehow the Falls Festival magically happens in Lawn, Victoria and Marion Bay, Tasmania at the same time, and this year promises to be huge. The rundown so far includes De La Soul, Billy Bragg, the John Butler Trio, Spiderbait, The Panics and Xavier Rudd, with even more still to be announced.
People, your dreams have not been fulfilled.
The Falls Festival, 2 nights of camping and music, New Year's Eve, with either Tassie or Lawn to choose from, supported by Triple J.
For more info, head to the Gig Guide at triplej.net.au.
18 past 8 on the J's. Adam and Will with you. Welcome back, mate. Sorry about that. Professor Will went on a bit today.
He does.
Had a lot of. He
just likes to help people.
He had a lot of stuff to get through. And that Alice just wouldn't let him go.
I know.
God, she was picking his brains.
He's got other things to do, Alice.
I know. He's very busy.
He's got other media commitments.
Exactly.
He's got to pop into the Today Show.
He goes straight from here to Triple M.
Yeah.
Then answers people's questions on the Today Show.
Exactly.
And then he goes and offers to help out at a high five. Doesn't get.
Is that right?
He gets nothing back from. Episode 110 of The Weather. Townsville fine at 31, Brisbane fine at 29, Newcastle thunderstorms and 29 today. Sydney an early shower or 2, later storms in the day 27, Canberra showers and storms 23, Hobart a few showers developing in 19, Adelaide cloudy with a few showers in 18, Perth fine at 23, Darwin fine at 34, Alice Springs showers in 38, Melbourne a few morning showers, perhaps an afternoon storm, perhaps perfect conditions for Mackay Diva to go 2 in a row in the Melbourne Cup, 19 degrees in Melbourne today.
Is that your tip?
It's not. I don't
Is
know.
that your tip? Is that done now?
It's not. I haven't tipped yet.
You can't just mention horses' names all morning. Is that your tip?
Is
that your tip?
I'm torn on the Mackay Diva thing because I picked it last year. No one was talking Mackay Diva last year except I was. It won.
Everyone's talking it this year, dude.
I know, and so I don't know if I should get on, get off. You know, I don't know.
Jackie O's on it.
Jackie O's on it. Oh, you mean picking Mackay Diva?
Yes.
I mean Jackie O's on it.
Yes. Mark Latham's on it. And you know he knows how to pick a winning policy.
He can pick a winner, can't he?
He can pick a winner.
Has Mark Holden made a pick? I see his photo on that page you're looking at.
Yeah, Marky Holden. You know who's Vinnie Rowe.
Really?
Yeah. He's just got this feeling about it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a time in this competition where you just need to step up.
It's about...
I feel it, Vinny.
20 past 8
Bada
on
bing,
the
bada bing,
Jays. Here's the
touchdown.
Queens of the Stone Age. First to giveth. It is 23 past 8 on Triple J. Adam and Will with your Queens of the Stone Age. I'm pumped, Will, because after 8:30 we're playing another Next Crop track.
Awesome.
You know it's the highlight of my year when we launch these brand new Aussie bands and we just sort of go...
What I loved about that is that I know you were checking out yesterday's band.
Yes.
On the website, and you think they're a bit hot.
Oh, bloody hell. Red Riders.
You wouldn't mind riding the Red Riders. You thought they were hotties, didn't you?
Well, DJ ZJ wants us to start a competition called Check Out the Next Crop Band each day on the website and decide who you'd most like to ride.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
We haven't really worked on the name yet, but the Red Riders totally hot,
no.
According to several hits on our guest book. There's a picture on the front page of Triple J website of yesterday's Next Crop Band. We'll be checking out at least what the Train of Thought band sound like after 8:30.
They're not. Are they called Train of Thought?
Train of Thought.
They're not an Australian Train cover band, are they? It's not the Train tribute show, is it?
Tell me, did you make it to the Boston?
It's not like it's not a cover of Drops of Jupiter or something, is it? It's like
I saw them on Rove, and they were even better than Five for Fighting.
No way.
I'm not
Stop
built to fly. I'm not that nerd. They're not as good as Sixpence None the Richer.
Yeah, they're no good Charlotte.
No, who is?
They're no good Charlotte.
Who is? It's 24 past 8 on the Jays. I'll tell you someone who does rock, and that is DJ Tracy Lee.
DJ Tracy Lee?
Who's mixed up. Doesn't DJ Tracy Lee sound like she's playing Moby Discs on ferries for people's 21st? But
g'day, I'm DJ Tracy. Quiet.
DJ Tracy
I'm
Lee.
DJ Tracy Lee.
DJ Tracy Lee
Price check off.
has mixed up this stuff off our grab bag and created this song called Adam and Will Make Me Number One. 25 past 8 on the Jays. It's quite good.
Might be a bit bold, this one, Will, but you might like it.
But firstly, Madam Speaker...
It's a brilliant story. I want to check if this is true. I heard...
All the producers going, what do we want?
Take that show on the road.
Exactly.
For one night only. We don't muck around. We don't muck around, I can tell you that. Ling! 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 Bada bing! Touchdown! I'm sure. Touchdown!
Did you drop the F word in that? Did you drop the F word in that?
Police on horses and that sort of stuff, The single mums are still sluts.
Do me a favour.
Oh, you're so naughty, Ollie.
Riding the snooze button like a first-year art student with glandular fever.
Do me a favour.
Tell it like it's Friday.
Do me a favour. Make me number one.
Might be a bit bold, this one, Will, but you might like it.
For years now, have a great Christmas and we'll see you on February 4th.
Do me a favour.
Not bad.
I like that one. Well, she's got a bit of Simon Garlick from the Western Bulldogs in that one.
She's DJ Tracy Lee has thrown in a lot of stuff a lot of people haven't used in other samples so far. That one and a bit of the Greg O'Mahony defending the indefensible.
That was good. And she had the Pope doing single mums to sluts.
Yeah.
That was good. That's classic.
That's what the Pope says.
I don't know if one's going to win if it doesn't have the Pope saying single mums to sluts.
GPO Box 9994 is where you can mail your Adam and Will cut up after 8:30. Steve Oemcke plays Celebrity Essence of Steve. What's on your mind, Sticky Chicken?
Well, Adam, we know that television is a cruel mistress.
Oh, isn't she?
Just shows are taken before their time.
Fickle.
Channel 10's The Cooks.
There you go.
Taken before its time.
There you go.
Hamish and Andy.
Oh.
Taken before its time. Ripped cruelly from our screens.
Kerry Ann Kennelly's Greed.
Ripped cruelly. Aborted from our TV screens.
Exactly.
The chat room.
Oh.
I was just learning to love it after 2 episodes.
Oh.
Ripped cruelly from our screen. And yet,
Friends.
Well, here's another example today.
Friends. Only 10 beautiful years of those kooky dudes.
Another example of a show ripped cruelly from our screens today, Adam. Burke's Backyard.
I know. I've read the news.
After only 17 years...
What?
ripped cruelly before it was just about to get good.
It was just finding its feet.
I've been watching it for 17 years and I could tell any moment it was going to get good. It had potential.
Oh.
It had all the ingredients of a good show, and if they just gave it another, say, 15 years...
I know, you can't, what do they expect?
Hey didn't get good until its 26th year.
What do they expect at 9?
on.
That you just hit the ground running after a mere 17 years and produce something watchable?
Come on, Channel 9. Give a show a chance to grow. Just like the plants in Burke's backyard. Give them a chance to grow.
Give it a chance to breathe.
Give him a chance.
Give Don a chance to find himself.
Give him a little bit of water, some love, some fertiliser.
Deary me.
Give the bloke a chance.
Exactly.
But it is good for Don Burke at least, because finally, you know, after working all this time, he'll have some time to, you know, spend in the garden.
Sure.
You know? I think that's nice.
Isn't it?
Work on his special crop.
What message does it send to other people? That this show...
Exactly.
You're saying only 17 years.
What message does this send to young Bert Newton? Who's just
Exactly.
been doing Good Morning Australia for 14 years.
Exactly.
What message does it send to him that you could be cruelly ripped from your screens before your time?
What message does it send to Katrina Roundtree? She's only been doing Getaway for 86 years.
What message does it send to those kids from High Five who are now, 35 or something?
Exactly.
Cruelly ripped from our screens before their time.
Valete, Don Burke.
Oh. Do you reckon the ratings have gone down ever since everyone realised he looked exactly like Osama bin Laden?
It is 8:30 on Triple J.
Triple J's Gig Guide.
Dappled Cities Fly. It's an odd name, but it definitely shows imagination, which is what this Sydney outfit is all about.
Yes, we are brilliant.
They've been taking their energetic left-of-centre indie pop and on-stage antics around Australia since 2001. Now their debut album, A Smile, has inspired them onto the road again. Get smiling and get to Dappled Cities Fly. Supported by Home and Hosed.
Join us on our big debut
album tour.
For all the dates, log on to Triple J's Gig Guide.
Hi, Rhianna Patrick with Triple J News headlines. In London, a man's been beaten to death in an apparent homophobic attack by a group of people. A journalist taking pictures of people waiting in line to cast early ballots in the US presidential election has been tackled, punched and arrested by a sheriff's deputy in Florida. A magistrate has handed down what's believed to be the first jail sentence for a breach of alcohol restrictions in Queensland's Cape York Aboriginal communities. The Palestinian Authority strongly condemned the latest suicide bombing, which killed 3 Israelis in Tel Aviv, saying it doesn't serve Palestinian interests. 4 men have been kidnapped from Baghdad after an armed group stormed their offices, and the weather could make all the difference in determining just which horse will win this year's Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, if it's dry, Vinnie Rowe, no chance.
Okay.
If it's damp, Vinnie Rowe, big chance. If it's really wet, my money's on Free Willy.
Really?
Yeah, just great in the wet, you know? Or Flipper.
Big finish from...
Or Thorpe.
Big finish from...
It'll be a 3-way. That's your trifecta for mine.
Free Willy.
If it really rains, Free Willy from Flipper and Thorpe coming third.
Oh, okay.
Only you will.
That's my...
Who's riding Thorpe?
I can't say for legal reasons.
Okay, it's about 29.
Unless you want this to be our last show.
29 minutes.
I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to speculate on who's riding Thorpe.
29.
That's one of those unwritten rules of radio.
9 on the J.
It's quite litigious when you speculate about who's riding Thorpe.
Thank you very much, Rhianna Patrick.
Later.
Here's the cops. Dirty little rebel.
He's great with a whip and loves leather.
Sucking on a soda pop of lemon and gin, given to you by a stupid creature of sin. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't want to be alone in the night, in the night. I don't want to be alone in the night, in the night. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Dragonfly out until dark, turn into a battered myth for Battery Park. Sucking on a soda pop of lemon and gin, given to you by a soothing creature of sin. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't
style this month with the top down, the wind in your face and the stereo cranked. The Home and Host Road to Homebake Tour sees End of Fashion and Gelberson hit 12 stages across the nation. See them with local acts in Fremantle, Adelaide, Melbourne, Brisbane, Coffs Harbour and plenty of spots in between. Plus, every ticket puts you in the draw for 2 airfares and passes to Homebake in Sydney. Put the pedal to the metal with the Home and Host Road to Homebake Tour, kicking off November 16 and supported by... what's that Oz music show on Triple J?
It is 25 to 9 on the Jays. Adam and Will with you. Now, we've been playing a little bit of the Essence of Steve for the last few weeks. It's an absolutely cult piece of radio.
It's just been huge, Essence of Steve. John Stevens was our celebrity Essence of Steve last week.
Bloody hell. We've had Steve Canane before. We've had girls called Steph. We've had a great...
Steve Monaghetti.
Steve Monaghetti. We've had
Steve Bradbury. He won a gold medal.
We've had regular Steves from all around the country. It's another celebrity Essence of Steve today. The concept here is we're going to talk to this Steve for a while, tease out some threads of what it is that makes him the Steve that he is. And if you think you share any or all of those qualities, you don't have to be called Steve yourself. You give us a call and we see if you've got the essence today of Channel 7 Wheel of Fortune host Steve Oemcke. How are you going this morning, Steve?
Very well, thank you.
Mate, it is great to have Steve Oemcke on the show.
Mate, I'm more excited than you are.
Okay.
Steve, it's awesome to have you on the show. Can I ask, have you ever had a favourite phrase that's ever come up on Wheel of Fortune? Is there one that tickled your fancy, that caught your eye?
No, geez, you caught me on the hop there. No, not really.
Do you not pay attention, Steve? Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
Are you not paying attention to the phrases?
Not a chance at all. Not a chance at all.
Not a chance at all, but we'll go with not a chance at all.
Okay.
Not a snowflake's chance in hell.
Not a snowflake's chance in hell.
Okay, so one of the qualities can be you give us a call if you think you've got something going on in your life at the moment where you are not a snowflake's chance in hell.
Yeah, that's good.
You might be going out on a date sometime later this week and you think you're absolutely no chance of getting to second base whatsoever.
Yep. Good.
Now, Steve, with your Oemcke.
Yes.
Do some people have trouble pronouncing the Oemcke? Does it stun them when they first see it? Do you have to spell it a few times, that sort of thing?
Look, in Germany, it's like Jones.
Right.
So certainly no one there. But, yes, over here we have Oemcke. I've got a friend who calls me Oemcke. There are some really weird variations that if I wasn't so tired, probably wouldn't tell you on air.
Okay.
Oh, good. I like that. Okay, if you've got a name that people make sound a little bit rude sometimes.
Yep, weird
Like,
name.
I met a girl called Eleanor the other day who was really nice, but everyone called her Alien Whore.
There you go.
So if you've got a name that some people can make sound a bit rude.
Often mispronounced,
that's
that
good.
sort of thing.
I like
it. Okay. Now, with the job you've got, Steve, you're working in TV. In a lot of ways, I think you're really fulfilling youngsters. You must have youngsters coming up going, Steve, I just want to work in TV.
Absolutely.
You're an inspiration to me, Steve Oemcke. You get that
you're the first person that said that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's a good quality. If you're the sort of person that no one has ever come up to you and said, you're an inspiration to me.
Okay, you've never been
you
called...
can have the essence of Steve. That's good.
Never been called an inspiration before. Okay, good. What else do we know?
Steve, I just want to know something personal about you. Do you have a favourite movie?
A favourite movie?
Yeah.
Look, I was credited once with saying that my favourite movie of all time was Forrest Gump, which my brother has hung SHI on me for a long period of time, and it was literally just the movie that was out when... It was like you saying, what's your favourite phrase? And I thought nothing about it, and it's the first thing that comes out of your mouth.
Right, so you've got a favourite film that you actually, on second thoughts, may not actually be your favourite film.
Excellent.
But you've got a fair bit about it.
Okay, excellent. So you're a bit, you're a bit embarrassed by your favourite film.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's say.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Okay, bit
Let's
embarrassed.
just substitute beaches in the story, perhaps.
Okay, so you've got a favourite film, but
good.
deep down you're a bit ashamed to admit it.
So what do we got so far?
Okay, so far, you're not a chance at all. There's some aspect of your life where you're not a chance at all.
Yep.
You've got a name that's a bit different, often mispronounced, misspelled.
Particularly in a rude way.
Sounds a bit rude. You've never been called you're in no way inspirational. You're a bit embarrassed by your favourite film. Now, what do you do in your downtime, Steve? What's your hobby? You into water skiing or jet boat riding? What do you do when you've got a few spare hours to while away?
Look, I play a fair bit of basketball.
Oh, all right, good,
badly.
Yeah. I think, if someone's really into basketball.
Okay.
They play basketball, or you're just into basketball, you're massive, Shaq fan. You got all Shaq's albums.
Basketball, netball,
Yeah,
anything
exactly.
like
Some sort of ball
You
sport.
like sinking some hoops.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, Steve, what we're going to do now is get people to give us a call, 1-800-055536, 1-800-055536. If you think you've got any or all of, in some way, not a snowflake's chance in hell, describe some aspect of your life. You've got a name that's a little bit different, often mispronounced, people often get it wrong. Sounds a
Particularly
bit
rude.
rude.
Yep.
You've never been an inspiration to anyone. You're a bit embarrassed by your favourite film, and you don't mind dunking some hoops or putting some netty or getting back 3 feet. Give us a call, Steve. We'll get some callers and see who's most got the essence of Steve, okay?
I can't wait.
It's about 19 minutes to 9. I get the impression the people at Channel 7 didn't really brief Steve on this. Here's Milo and Pressure on Triple J.
G'day, do you think you got the essence of Steve? Yeah, is there something you're going to not sleep
Speaking, what do you got for us?
very nice. Do you have a name that's mispronounced or sounds a bit rude?
Excellent. Where are you calling from?
The Dictator. That's awesome. Are you an inspiration to anybody? Never? Never been an inspiration to anybody? All right.
It is 9:15 on Triple J. The the station where occasionally we leave the mics on just to give you extra value, listeners. We've only got 18 and a bit shows to go.
No, if we've said the sort of stuff we normally say off air when we left the mics on there.
Oh, we would have had about 18.
This could have been our last show.
We would have had about 18 seconds to
You
go.
never would have heard what Adam's tip for the Cup was.
I'm going to push back the weather a little bit and make my Melbourne Cup tip very, very soon. But at the moment, we are playing Essence of Steve with Channel 7's Wheel of Fortune host Steve Oemcke, who's about to... Steve, you're about to have some people parade in front of you claiming to be yourself, and one of them will just gel with you.
No.
One of them will be like looking in a mirror, Steve.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
When it leaps off the page, you tell us. We've got Elisa up first. How are you going, Elisa?
Not too bad, Adam. How are you?
Good, thank you. Now, we'll lead the quiz.
Okay, Elisa, do you have something there's not a snowflake's chance in hell of getting?
I'm actually driving to a job interview at the moment.
And you're not backing yourself?
Confidence? No.
That's good.
Okay.
No, not overly.
Are you an inspiration to anyone? Are you an inspiration?
Hello? Sorry.
Can you still hear us, Elisa?
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Are you an inspiration to anybody?
No, high school teacher, so...
Oh, there you go. Profound disappointment. What's your favourite film, Elisa?
Roman Holiday.
Oh.
It's a bit...
That's nothing to be embarrassed of.
No, that's right, Steve. That's a great film.
Sorry, Elisa.
Go on, Elisa. Sorry, you don't have the S's of Steve.
Gee, Oemke's brutal too. I like it.
Go on.
It's a great film. I'd be proud.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, mate, look,
it's no Forrest Gump.
Look at Steve. Steve, let's be honest, mate. You host Wheel of Fortune. You've got to be tough now and then. When someone spends up a bankrupt, you can't go, I'll give you another go.
I'll give you go.
Sorry.
Rules.
Exactly, Elisa.
You gave me the rules, mate.
Elisa just lost control of the wheel.
Yeah.
Michael from Colac.
No.
How you going, Michael?
Good, thanks, Adam.
Good to hear, mate. Now, what's your name that sounds a bit rude?
It doesn't sound rude, but Mugabe. I sometimes get Mugabe, so people think I'm the president of Zimbabwe.
Oh, Zimbabwe dictator.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's not right.
That's not good.
Is there something you don't have a snowflake's chance in hell of doing?
Yeah, getting through my VCE.
Oh, really?
Oh. What about your favourite film, mate? What's your favourite film?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
very embarrassing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're with him so far, Steve?
I am.
Are you a basketball freak, Michael? Do you love a bit of b-ball?
I did when I was in grade 5.
Oh, no, mate, I'm a 29-year veteran of basketball.
You're gone, Michael.
Go on, mate.
Jeez.
Out of here.
That's not a basketballer.
Oh, God.
Oemke's become a bit of a hanging judge.
He's brutal.
He's turned into Dicko.
Jack from Sydney. How you going, Jack?
Oh, good boys, yourself?
Yeah, very well, thanks. What's your name or nickname that sounds a bit rude?
Oh, my last name's Vidler, and people pronounce it Vidler, and then I get Pidler.
Oh, all right.
2 degrees of separation.
I like it. I like it, Jack the Piddler.
Is there something you have no chance in hell of doing?
Yeah, actually, I went out on a date last night with a very nice girl. Just opened my mouth and just shit came out, and probably no chance of hell of getting a second date.
Okay.
Oh,
go on.
Been there.
What you have not been there, Steve Oemcke? Come on. You buy an L for loving.
Exactly. At the end of the night, those girls are buying OOO.
Exactly. Are you an inspiration, Jack?
I tried, but then again, I failed at that. So, yeah, 3 sisters, nothing.
Okay.
Are you a basketballer, mate?
I play occasionally for my friends, but I suppose where we have the connection is I'm really bad at it. I'm just there to make up numbers and peel oranges.
Oh, see, I'm sorry, but mate, if it got out that that's all I was there to do,
exactly,
my life would be over.
You've got to
exactly.
Yeah, but I'm there to make you look good.
I know. You're meant to be. This is meant to be my mirror image, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and I don't mean to be harsh on this bloke because he sounds a lot like me.
But if you don't link with him, Steve, we'll move on.
He's like you, but a poorer version of you, Steve.
We've got Stephanie from Mallee on the line. How are you going, Stephanie?
Hi.
Now, we've already got the Stephanie Steve link. That's always a nice one.
Nice.
Are you an inspiration, Stephanie?
No, not at all. I work on the grape block.
Oh, really? Down in Mallee on the Grape Vineyard. Okay. What's a blocky do?
Oh, I'm just training vines at the moment, so just putting the tentacles onto the wire, really.
All right. Steph, do you have a rude-sounding name?
Stiff Fanny.
Stiff Fanny.
Stiff Fanny.
Oh, I like that one.
That's not bad.
That's good.
Okay, do you play a bit of basketball or netball?
I play netball. I'm pretty good at that.
Oh, okay.
You got a favourite movie?
Netball, basketball.
What's your favourite movie, Stephanie?
Oh, it's an embarrassing one.
Yeah?
Sound of Music.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. We're getting close.
Oh.
Can you sense it, Steve Oemcke?
I can feel it.
Okay, well, we'll put Stephanie on hold. We're reasonably close. And we've got Damien on the line. Damien, how are you going?
Good, mate.
What's something you've got not a snowball's chance in hell at today, mate?
Making it to my Centrelink appointment, mate.
Okay. Now, Steve...
This guy's almost one without saying any more.
Because, Steve, you've worked in TV. You've been on the dole before, Steve Oemcke, haven't you? Now, Damien, what's your smutty-sounding name?
Last name Smith, that sort of stiff.
Stiffy.
Ah, right, Stiffy, yep.
Nice stuff.
Nice.
What's the movie you're embarrassed about loving?
Oh, Shrek. I'm not really embarrassed about it, you know.
Shrek.
Just Shrek.
Oh.
I quite like Shrek, though.
Yeah. How old are you, Damien?
24, mate.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right, okay.
Do you play basketball?
Yeah, I'll give it a good shot, mate.
Yeah?
Yep. And are you an inspiration to anyone, mate?
Yeah, to those that have a job. I like that.
Okay, Steve Oemcke. It comes down to Damien Stiffy or Stephanie Stiff Fanny. The netballer versus the guy who rates himself a bit at basketball. The woman who ties vines to wires versus the guy who's no chance at all of getting to his Centrelink appointment. Who most has the essence of Steve?
Look, I'm going to have to go with the vine tire, I think. It's all in the name.
Stiff Fanny?
Yeah, Stiff Fanny.
Congratulations.
Got across the line. Good on you, Stiff Fanny.
Thanks.
Oh, you've made her
She's
day.
very exciting.
You would have thought she'd spun up the car.
That's a great... next
She's
time
giggling more than Sophie Faulkner.
Stephanie, next time you watch Wheel of Fortune, you'll just be able to sit there and just go, that guy and me, connection.
At least you have a chance of being able to play Wheel of Fortune again.
Exactly.
As opposed to Adam.
Adam's
got a worldwide ban.
What do you mean? Oh, what a great...
Mate, we looked back at the tapes and we realised that you do the Wheel of Fortune equivalent of counting cards.
Hey, I was a little bit competitive.
It's all over for you, buddy.
Oh, I've been black banned. I'm gone. Thanks for your time, Steve Oemcke.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Stiff Fanny.
Thank you.
It is 9 to 9 on Triple J. Here's the mess hall.
Got cocaine to kick for me, and love is my currency. I walk from the ocean to the city. It's the one direction since a man built the guillotine. I'm back here in the crowd. I'm back, I'm crawling from the underground. I'm back. I wanna turn around. My blood's running through my body on a carousel. I'm coming into your town. You're turning around. The blue is red round the dust clouds of hell. Now you only call me when you want it. You only call me when you want it. I feel it sorry since I got it. I'm feeling all kind of sonic. Calls like the echo from a deep well. My soul trades what I can't sell. I call out the walls that fell with the notion that you could tell I came from the ocean to the city just to bury your pity. Now you stand with your eyes wide open. I'm spinning around there. You only call me when you want it. You only call me when you want it. I feel sorry since I got it. I'm feeling all kind of sonic. You dance like a fool as you get me in the underground and run it. You dance like a fool as you get me in the underground and run it. You only call me when you want it. You only call me 13, I'm back, back here in the crowd. I'm back, crawling from the underground. I'm back, I wanna turn around. The blood's running through my body on the carousel. Running, you only call me when you're running. I'm always sorry since I got it. I'm feeling all kind of stunning.
It is 5 to 9 on Triple J. Adam and Will with you. That was the Mess Hall Lock and Load, episode 109 of The Weather. Townsville fine at 31, Brisbane fine at 29.
10 square plus 3 square.
Newcastle thunderstorms at 29. Nice work. Sydney an early shower or two, later storms and 27 degrees. Canberra showers and storms 23. How about a few showers developing in 19? Adelaide cloudy with a few showers in 18. Perth fine in 23. Darwin fine in 34. Alice Springs showers in 38. Melbourne a few morning showers, perhaps an afternoon storm. Possibly perfect conditions for...
What's your tip? Is this your tip?
Not quite.
Is this...
Grey Song is also a big wet runner. There's a bit of a chance of Melbourne Cup. 19 degrees.
Is that your tip?
No, I've been agonising over
You've
this.
got to make a tip. You've got to say, this is my tip.
I'm condemned by my own past because I've tipped the last 3 bloody Melbourne Cup winners. It's a really tough race to pick. Mainly because Mackay Diva seems to be the standout Aussie horse, and then you've got the overseas horses, and with all the overseas horses, they can run brilliantly or they just don't turn up at all. The overseas jockeys don't like the Aussie style of racing where we basically just punch people ahead and really get in there.
The overseas jockeys are shit.
It's a tough one, and it's
that Frankie Dettori is rubbish.
It's weighing very heavily.
I know he wins a lot overseas, but he is rubbish.
The horse that will win this year's Melbourne Cup is the English horse Distinction.
Really?
Is
that your tip?
It is what I'm going with.
You're not going to change your mind? That's your tip, yeah?
I'll be pleasantly...
That's your tip, right?
I'll be surprised if it gets it because it's been sick and you just don't know where it's at. If it runs as well as it can, Distinction will win the Melbourne Cup.
Tip?
I'm going with Distinction.
Is that your tip?
I'm going with Distinction.
If people have money in their bank, they can take it out now and go down the tab and put it all on Distinction?
If it's money that they're...
Guaranteed?
If it's money that they're...
Guaranteed money in the bank.
If it's money that they're happy to lose, because there's...
Well, this is your guarantee, though. You will happily pay for any money lost off your tip. Yeah?
I'll refund all bets.
You'll refund?
I'll refund all bets. In fact, I'll double it. If you bring me... mail your tickets to me, and I will double. In fact, go and bet on Distinction now. Put the ticket in the mail before the race.
Yes.
And mail it to me with your contact details. I will honour all bets. It's 3 to 9 on Triple J. Do you have who are you backing?
I don't care, whatever.
Exactly.
What do I care?
Here is Phonique
What do I
on
care?
Triple J for the time being. Adam will be with you. We'll be back around this time tomorrow. Shannon from Cockatoo, The Stink. It's all happening. Bye-bye.
I won't lose control. This time I'm over here. I'll sing along with you. Come sing along with me. I'll sing along with you. I'm over here. I'm over here. Will there be time? Oh, no time. For the time being. Will there be time? Oh, no time. For the time being. Will there be time?
G'day, Michael Turtle with Triple J News. It's been a contentious issue for students for years, but with complete control of the Senate, the government is set to introduce voluntary student unionism. The Federal Education Minister has foreshadowed pushing through a number of controversial changes to higher education next year. They include workplace relations changes for staff, and Brendan Nelson also says the Commonwealth might want to take control of universities from the states, because it's ridiculous when unis want to work together
and are restricted in their capacity to do so because they've got different laws governing them in different states.
A magistrate has handed down what's believed to be the first jail sentence for a breach of alcohol restrictions in Queensland's Cape York Aboriginal communities. Liam Fox has more.
In September, police found 41-year-old Jack Norman Budby drunk and holding a cask of wine in Napranum on Western Cape York. It was the fourth time he'd breached the community's alcohol restrictions. Magistrate Trevor Black sentenced him to a week in prison, but suspended the sentence for 6 months. Budby's lawyer, Michael McElhenney, says his client is an alcoholic and it's highly likely he'll breach the suspension and end up in jail.
Well, I think it's not the right way to go, of course. There should be some sort of other assistance rather than incarceration.
The US has begun to increase the number of its troops in Iraq to provide security for January's election, which is expected to face possible disruptions from insurgents. One combat team will stay longer than planned, and about 4,000 new troops will join the 138,000 already there. It's hoped a world-first study into Indigenous health could extend the life expectancy of Aboriginal Australians. It's looking at ways to decrease the likelihood of chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease.
At the moment, life expectancy, as you know, is some 15 to 20 years less than the non-Indigenous population. And it's the chronic diseases in adult life that are mainly responsible.
That was Dr. Sue Sayers from the Menzies School of Health Research, which is undertaking the study of nearly 700 Aboriginal children in the top end. A British man has been jailed for 75 days for leaving his 6-week-old baby locked inside his car while he went out drinking. He went to a bar, then took a taxi home and went to bed. Several hours later, his wife realised their daughter was missing and called the police. And on Melbourne Cup Day, many people have their minds on placing a wager or two, but someone had their minds on stopping them. 25 TAB outlets across Melbourne have been vandalised overnight, with the culprits using superglue to tamper with the locks.
Similar pattern, superglue in the locks, and we're now calling locksmiths for every store to get them to come and open up the doors.
That was Tabcorp spokesman Bruce Tobin. And that's all the news for now. You're listening across Australia to Triple J.
I'd like to introduce you all to...
Sorry, here's my normal version of it.
Is that enough of a gap?
Just a little bit more in the headphones.
That kind of works still, doesn't it?
Is that it?
That was all rocking along quite well.
Come a little bit less on the headphones.
You're listening to Triple J.
Please don't get me wrong, see I forgive you in a song we'll call The Likely Lands. But if it's left to you, I know exactly what you do with all the dreams we had. Cause blood runs thicker, it's thicker Steve, you know. It's important to you. It's important to me. I try to make you see, but you don't want to know. If the Bible come along and get forgiven in a song, I'll have to touch my life. It's all my rights to all my wrongs when they needed the new songs. Welcome back outside. My blood runs thicker, it's thicker Steve, you know. That's important to you. It's important to me. I tried to make you see.